Good morning, Boy here, and welcome back to RoadCraft for what is live stream number 35 as we continue our journey through the game. Good morning, I hope your weekend was really good. We're back today for 3.5 hours as we continue on from Friday morning stream. So, Friday morning, we continued on RoadCraft and we're on the final map, the Kernel map, and we actually built our longest ever road we built so far in the game. That made a big difference to how we could set up convoys, and then from there, we continued to clear the objectives. And we finished off by driving all the way to the Archeologists camp, which was a bit of a drive. And today we continue on. We'll have a look at what we've still got left to do. There's still quite a bit, I think. I don't think we're close to finishing off Kernel just yet before we start DLC, but I think we're making decent progress. The one thing I would say about Kernel that I've noticed is it's probably the hardest map to navigate without the use of roads, if that makes sense. I feel like we're going to be making a lot of roads and moving sand because there doesn't seem to be many quarries around that are easy enough to access to actually not have to keep bringing sand to yourself. So I think we're going to be doing a lot of that by looks of things. But then I like the fact we've got to the final map and it's not a walkover. You know, there is still more to it. It would be a bit frustrating if we got to the final map and it was really, really easy, wouldn't it? So I'm glad there's still a massive bit, there's still a big challenge to come before we can finish. So I was checking sound. Yeah, so if without the challenge, it would be a bit of a lopsided ending, really. But we'll see how we go. See how much we can get done today. We have the schedule come out yesterday. If you haven't seen it yet, that displays all of our episodic and live stream times this week. And there was a live stream community post last night, which is all our live stream times for this coming week as well. We've got RoadCraft 3 times this week and Shadows, Sasquatch Shadows as well, twice this week. We're thinking we're going for Platinum in Sasquatch Shadows, our 20th channel Platinum is our thinking. But we'll have to see how it goes. There's still more to do in the DLC as well. I don't think we've quite finished the DLC yet. We've finished the main story of it. There's other bits we need to do to say we've fully done the DLC. Thank you for the like, was much appreciated. Right, let's do one more thing and then we're good to go. There we go. All done. Right, let's load in and see where we're at. So we are currently 87 hours in after 35 streams. Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? We are also max level. We found out the other last time on Friday that max level is level 20. I don't know if that changes once you start DLC, but currently that is the max we can go to. And as you can see, Kernel map 19% completed. 2 of 17 infrastructure requests, although infrastructure isn't needed 100%. 8 of 33 completed objectives and 0 of 9 side objectives. Weird, isn't it? 0 of 9. We do have some logs in storage thanks to one of our convoys. I'm on the second part of a 4-part map. The first part really seemed to finish really quickly, but 4 parts, it makes sense to be fair. And we've discovered near enough all the map. There's a little bit to the right hand side we haven't kind of uncovered yet, but we've done the majority of it already. Let's load in and see what we still need to do today. As I say, we're just going to continue on, hopefully get a decent amount done today. But I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. It's always nice on a Monday coming back and streaming. But as I'm going to start, I've got a feeling we're going to be building a few more roads yet. I think the big road we built or finished off in the last stream, I think we're probably going to need a few of those. Looking around the map on Friday, I think there's still going to be quite a bit we're going to need to try and work out how to get around. These earthquakes definitely did a job on the local infrastructure by the looks of things. Okay, let's have a look where we're at. Objective wise, so we've got 4 main quests, 4 main jobs on the go, should I say. Supply Northlock Village with resources. We need 6 steel beams, we currently have 0. We need concrete slabs, again 0. I don't think we can actually make concrete slabs yet. We can buy them though, that's the other thing. 5 logs and deliver a vehicle from our tunnel exit base all the way to the countryside base, which is the village of Northlock. We opened up the countryside base in the last stream as well. Supply the archaeologist camp with the requested resources. So we delivered 2 objects. Are they being picked up there? They're being picked up here, aren't they? 2 objects that need picking up from here. Not sure what they look like just yet. Must have a look at that. And they need delivering to the archaeologist camp. Now the archaeologist camp is a long way away from the logistics base, with some very tough terrain to navigate. So that's going to be interesting. Wow. Okay. That's why I think we're going to be building quite a few roads the way this is looking. Crazy Irishman, good morning. How are you? First hard day of the week. It's first time going to Mum. Oh really? Oh wow. All I can say is I hope he goes okay, Crazy Irishman. But yeah, it's not going to be a good day. We also need to build a flood wall to protect the shoreline of the machine yard. We need to pick up the parts that are down here, the big sheets, and put them in the 3 different locations. There's 5 in total, but 3 different locations to actually put them in, and that'll protect the shoreline. I'm guessing that potentially we'll get the harbour base up and running. We currently don't have the harbour base up and running currently. And we need to clear our way to the radio tower, so we need to clear off this section here. It's a nice easy one, that one, and that will open up the radio tower. So we just need to get a crane there really to move all the stuff. I think we're going to need to build a bridge as well, to be fair, looking at that. And side missions, we've got 4. Return the archaeological equipment. We've got to find an object that's over there. That also gives us tokens, which we need. Well, actually, that also gives us a dry stone base will be restored, and that will give us tokens towards unlocking one of the quarries that's currently locked. We need to plan a route for the concrete supply from the eastern tunnel to the warehouse. Where's that? Oh, eastern tunnel's there. Where's the nearest warehouse? There. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to be building some more roads yet. There was a quarry here, to be fair. We need to... Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm just looking up how we're going to do this. There was another mission we didn't look at there, actually. And then find all the archaeological sites. There's 5 objects to discover at 5 different locations. And then we've got to bring logs to the sawmill. 15 logs needed for the sawmill. The convoy is now completed, which is what we was waiting for. But we need to bring 15 logs to the sawmill. That's an easy one, to be honest. That's not too bad to clear off. If we return the object, let's have a look at this one first. We need to find the object that's there. All we lost about it. Find what's left from the vehicle and return it. So we need something with, I would say, a crane, essentially, to go there. Because if we've got to return it, I'm guessing it's a 2-part mission. The second part just isn't showing yet. Because my guess is we'll bring it. Yeah, it even says find what's left from the vehicle and return it. So we're going to need something with a crane, and that will unlock this base down here as a base operations, which probably wouldn't be a bad thing. My only concern is obviously we don't know what the terrain's like. My guess would be not very good. Although we do have a bit of a road here actually by the quarry, and that will give us the tokens needed to activate this quarry. To be fair, although I think we could probably put our vehicle there that actually does sand. I can't remember what it's called, but that's a very sandy area. I wonder if we could put it there to help with the reach, maybe. We've got the harbour base here. I think we can put. I think we start off with this mission. My reasoning is, I think if we get the other base up and running, that wouldn't be a bad shout. But we just don't know what we're going to be facing once we're there. That's the only thing. So there is a bit of a route here. Are they train tracks? Or just tracks? I think just tracks, to be fair. Do from the main road there. We do need bridges here at some point. Just trying to think what the best... Oh, we can't use this base yet because we need to do these, don't we? I thought we was going to send something straight from there, but actually we can't. So I've got the map kind of the wrong way around at the minute. What is the best course of action here? That's the thing we've got to work out. Just bear with me. That's my little boy saying he's got to school, hopefully. Yeah, I hope you guys are well, Crazy Ash. Obviously, my thoughts are with you and your family. Right, we need a plan of attack here. I suppose to go. Okay. Yeah, well, that's standard procedure, isn't it? After an op, especially when things have happened afterwards. The thing is, that may not be anyone's fault. This is the thing. It may just be, unfortunately, one of those unfortunate events, essentially. Okay, let's work out how we're going to do this. We have got a couple of cranes here, but these are grabber cranes, which I don't think are going to help us put them in place. Maybe they will, though. I don't know. I don't think they will. I think, obviously, we need to clear this out of the way. Ideally, we need to get a big crane to there, don't we, really? But we've got nothing nearby to do that. That's the problem. Our nearest base operations is Northlock down here. So everything we want to do is over this way. There's a warehouse there. I think with this final map, I think obviously there's a big level of difficulty. It's kind of gone up a notch. And my thinking of that is that there's a lot for us to kind of focus on. It's just deciding the order you do things in to make your life easier. But at this moment in time, I can't make my mind up. So we know there's a bit down here to get through. We came up here last time. I think maybe find the object's the wrong thing to be doing until we open up the machine yard. From the machine yard, I think we can then go and do this. So I think the machine yard should take precedence, because that will give us another base operations there, I believe. We go that. Does that give us? No, it doesn't give us a base there. I thought that would unlock the harbour base, but it doesn't seem to. It won't do that. I think power might be needed first. Actually, thinking about it. Yeah, the power might be needed first. And you can already see some broken pipes here, which probably will give us the power, maybe. I don't know. I kind of just need to make a decision, don't I? That's the thing. The resources in Northlock, what are we doing here? Steel beams. Again, I think that's going to have to hold off. We haven't made any steel beams yet. We've got enough logs, but we can't make concrete yet either. Thinking about it. Do we know where the concrete plant is? Steel pipes is here. Reservoir, radio tower. Steel beams facilities there. We've got two already in there. I don't think we've found, thinking about it, I don't think we've seen anywhere to make concrete slabs yet, have we? Which is interesting. Okay. Archeologists, build a flood wall. The flood wall was my thinking, but I don't know how we're going to get a crane there easily. That's the thing. Because that's what it needs. For that flood wall, we need a crane. And it's going to have to be a big crane, I think. There's anything done wrong? I think it was two things. So yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? At that age, surgery is never really going to be 100% guaranteed, is it? Unfortunately. But they've got to cover themselves to just in case there was something wrong. That's the thing. Okay. We've somehow got a crane across here. My concern is, obviously, that's not the best terrain to navigate. I think we take a crane from here and we head to the machine yard. I think isn't a bad shout. And get that done over there. I just don't. I'm kind of in two minds of what we should be doing and what order. Do you know what? Actually, let's do the easiest thing first. We need to clear the oldest mission we've got on the map still is to bring logs to the sawmill. Let's do that. This mission has been waiting a while. Let's get this done, and then that's one job out the way. It's been, like I say, waiting a while for this then. we need 15 logs. We can take them out of our base over here. We just need something to carry them in, essentially. And probably that's our best bet. The owl says it can carry more. And it's got 15 logs. Yeah, let's deploy that. It hasn't got a crane, but that's okay, because what we'll do is we're already near our base operations anyway, so the crane isn't that big a deal. Right, I want 15 logs, which is half our logs in storage. But this is the oldest mission on the map, as we've been waiting a while to do this. So it makes sense that we do it now, then it's done, isn't it? I like to kind of do the missions as they come up in kind of that kind of order. So I think actually having this done first is probably quite important. So then we can say, okay, we're kind of up to date now with the older missions as well. Right, we're going to need a crane. It doesn't really matter which crane we use. That's already out. Let's deploy this one. This is one of the new cranes we got towards the end of the last map. We did find this one was pretty handy, to be fair, in the way it worked. I did like this crane. Mainly because it's quite good at staying on itself. You obviously don't have well, the anchors, because it doesn't need them. It's quite a heavy back, so it kind of stays in good position all the time. I know what I'm trying to say. I'm just not getting my words out this morning, it seems. Right, these don't need to be perfect on here, because at the end of the day, we're just taking them down just round the corner, to be fair. So they don't need to be perfect, they just need to be on board. 15 in total, it's quite a lot of logs. The thing is, the map doesn't have many trees. They need to learn from their mistakes. Oh no, absolutely. But yeah, it's just standard procedure, isn't it? I know that means, I think in some ways it's sometimes worse learning that that's going to happen, isn't it? That's the thing. And obviously it delays things as well, which is never good. Right, I think 5 in there. I do like this crane. It's a decent crane that can lift a decent weight. Obviously its reach isn't the longest, that kind of lets it down a little bit, but other than that I think it's not too bad. And obviously it can't lift as much as the heavy cranes. It can lift a decent amount. I think it's a lot better than the other cranes, the smaller cranes that we had, or have, that we kind of haven't used since the first map because they're horrendous. So this is kind of goes between a heavy crane and a small crane, I would say. And the tracks make it so it can navigate quite rough terrain if we need to send it distances, which I think is pretty good. Whereas the heavy cranes, obviously, tyres, and they can get stuck. And they can tend to tip. This won't tip as easily because of the way it's set up, to be fair. Now we could have used a log forwarder for this, and we could have loaded one of those up instead. I think it would have taken a lot longer to do. And I don't know if it could carry 15 in one go without there being some difficulties. And I just thought, we just stick them on the back of something like this, it makes life a little bit easier. As the wife said, I know we can say no, but then how goes someone? Yeah. Oh, you actually got a choice to say no, have you? I didn't realise that. I thought it was mandatory. But yeah, I see what your wife means, though. no one learns, do they, if there was an issue? Yeah, you're right. That is the thing, isn't it? People do need to learn from mistakes, otherwise things will never improve. That's the thing. But yeah, I didn't realise you could say no, to be honest. Right, 3 more to load in. As I say, we're not taking these far. We're just round. It is just round the corner. It's the oldest mission we currently have, so it makes sense to get it cleared. We had to wait until the convoy had been completed with all the logs itself, because that delivered a load of logs to us, as there's not very many trees on the map. I think we may even be utilising the shop a little bit here to actually get materials and things, just because a lack of logs could potentially be a long-term issue. So we may have to sell stuff to buy logs and concrete slabs and stuff. That's the thing. I do think we're going to be building a lot more roads yet as well. I think our longest road may end up getting beaten looking at the state of the map and where we need to go. Come on, give me this one. Gave it to me then, I pressed it too quick to get off it. There we go. Last one. That's 15 logs then loaded. And then we can get these delivered. And that'll be our first mission of today done at least. We haven't completed a side mission as of yet, as this was the first side mission we actually got, to be fair. So the fact that we can now complete our first side mission. Right, those are cargo strapped. As I say, we don't really have far to go. It is literally round the corner. But at least we can get this one nice and easy. Our first side mission of the map as well. Just feel weird not having any side missions done until now, but a lot of our time was spent building the road to actually allow us to get out of here. Although we just need to learn not to take so tightly there. A lovely, lovely road. This took a long time to build, but it was definitely needed. For that convoy, I don't think that convoy would have made it without the road, to be fair. Right. It says bring the resources to the village, but then to be fair, we can actually... I think the village base is unlocked, so in theory, all we've got to do is just store what we need, and then we can get out at the village. It'll be an easy delivery from there. No, 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 no. I don't know if I can get this back on its side. No, I think I've caught the edge of the pile there of logs, and that's what turned us over. Just trying to see if I can tip it, but I don't think I can. I think we're going to need to get a crane here. That's really annoying. You can't tell if it's unexpected. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't realise that, to be fair. Right, what we'll have to do is, since it wasn't a far journey, let's just drive this there. Can't believe I messed that up, to be fair. Need a crane that's big enough to actually lift it up, so I think we should be able to do it with this. I just caught the log pile as we tried to get through the mud and just tipped it over. This may not be the fastest thing, but I'm thinking more of its reach. Well, I don't want to take a big crane there. I think that'd be silly when we can just quickly use this. Thought we was going to get our first side mission done as well. So at the start of this get map, we were told by Kelly that tracked vehicles will do better here. And so far that has been the case. Because of the mud from the earthquake and the way things have been so damaged from it, tracks do perform better. The only problem with tracks is they're a little bit slower more than anything else. Yeah, no, that makes sense, Co's Arsenal. The rain is still coming down. This map is very rainy, that's the other thing we've noticed. Probably could have brought a faster vehicle here, but as I say, we've just got to tip it back to its feet. on its wheels. I just slightly caught that log pile as I was trying to navigate the mud, because it was seemed to be sticking into the mud there. So as we went to the side, just caught the log pile and tipped. We should be able to get it back on its feet. Right, what, I don't know what I'm connected to, but it says we're connected. There we go. We are back on its wheels. Let's see if we can quickly move it. No, I think we're caught on the log pile, aren't we? Yeah, it's going again. Okay, so we need to lift it up but also move it slightly at the same time, as we are caught. I don't know if we're tipping a little bit here. Right, we just need to, we moved off the log pile there. I think we have actually. Yeah, there we go. I think we've solved their problem. There we go. You can see how muddy it is even just here. There are some loose logs laying around the map as well. It's something we may need to collect if we still need more. There are several bridges we need to make by looks of things as well. But currently we can only use wood for bridges. There we go, mission complete. That's our first side mission of the map as well.
Right. The sawmill folks are back in business. That should make them happy. Unless, of course, they wanted to be lumberjacks themselves, leaping from log to log as they float down the mighty rivers of Northlock. Then maybe they should have planted as many as they cut down, right?
Fair enough. Okay, so that is our first mission of the stream done at least as well. The Northlocks with supplies here, I don't think that's too bad to do. Because as I say, we've got a base of operations at Northlock now, which is over here, countryside base. So if we just need to deliver these resources, we've got a vehicle we've got to drive there, admittedly, but we can just take the resources out of here and deliver them. It's not like they've got to go far, but obviously we need the resources in storage first. That's obviously the problem. What we got there, crane-wise? But it means also, though, we can pull a big crane out and clear this quickly. To clear the way to radio tower. And if we track that, we've done one side mission. This will be our first main mission complete today, and it should be fairly quick. We just need a decent-sized crane. As I say, we're going to need a bridge there as well, but I think we can deal with that closer to the time. Just need a crane of decent size. That's already out and about. I don't want to pull one in from somewhere currently if we've got others we can use, and we've got the Zilks 612C, and then if everything's out and we still need another vehicle of that type, then we'll pull it in. But I try to use all different vehicles where possible here. So come out of here, head left, and get to this area, and we're just going to clear it. I don't think this is too bad. The only issue here is obviously, can this navigate the standing water? I think it should be okay. See how deep that actually goes. Wow. If there's any convoys to set up, we may need to build roads. Our vehicles aren't too bad, but convoys will struggle, I think, here. Okay, so we're going to clear this area. This also wants a road here as well. I don't think we've been... Yeah, we hadn't noticed that. They actually want us to build a road here. I think we're going to have to fill that with sand then, and just make a road. Would be my thinking of there. That might be interesting. I don't know. The only issue we may have is where's the nearest quarry, is my concern, to be honest. There is one there. That's quite a way away. We'll deal with. Let's clear this out the way first, and we have to look at this road afterwards. I'm guessing there'll be a mission to the radio tower once we've cleared this out the way. Would be my guess. But we've got to get rid of all this debris first.
You know what being a true hero means? Running towards what everyone else is running from. I guess you're a real hero, clearing the path to the radio tower. If I were in your place, I'd be flooring the pedal in the opposite direction. After all, I've had enough radio towers to last me a lifetime at this point. Thank you for being you.
Kelly's happy with us helping out. It is our job after all, to be fair. Right, we can chuck a lot of this just to the side here. As long as it's off the road and out the way, I don't really need to put it too far away. The vehicles we can move to a better position. But a lot of this smaller stuff we can just make a pile. And if worse comes to worse, we can always use it, recycle it later on if need be. But a lot of this can just be moved to the side. I think that's just a massive rock there, isn't it? Yeah, it is. That's not metal, that's just a big old rock. Just chuck it there. The metal I'm kind of putting in one place. In case we want to pick it up to recycle it, I'd rather have it all in one place if possible. It makes our life a little bit easier if we are picking it all up. There's a few rocks as well. That's what I wanted, a bit of metal. But yeah, so I don't think we're building a bridge here then, are we? I think we're putting sand down and filling in the hole that way maybe. Because I'm not sure how the road will go if we have to back up and then tip sand in, I suppose. I've not tried to build a road and have it as a bridge included on the actual plan for the road itself. That's what makes me think it's going to have to be sand there. Right, we're going to put this over here. So it may be something we can recycle in the future. Right, we'll clear the rocks. And then there's one more vehicle as well, but rocks as well. What I might quickly do, to change camera, is actually drive a bit closer. Oh, there's a rock there, 2 rocks on the way there. Actually, before we drive closer. Again, these can just go to the side. As long as they're out of the way, not that big a deal. But yeah, I'm not trying to build a road, a bridge whilst the road is going through it as a planned road. So I don't know. Give me the one I want. How that would work. That's why I think we'd have to put sand in the hole and make a road that way, which is doable. It's just a little bit slower than obviously just putting a bridge there. Especially when we've got a base operations right nearby as well. Right, we're going to drive a little bit forward here just to give us as close to what we're moving. These rocks can go on the side over here, I think. As long as they don't fall back down again. Either that or we should put them on the left maybe. I'm in 2 minds. Now I've gone to do it, I'm in 2 minds now. I think they might just fall back down. Don't roll. Okay, I think that's okay. I think we're better put them to the right. I don't think balancing on there is actually needed. I think we'll just chuck them on the right hand side. Make our life a bit easier. I was considering chucking them in the water, to be fair. Always easy if you don't have to move the crane too much as well. That might not be a bad shout, you know. Put them in the water and then put sand over the top. Well, I don't know. I just think it kind of gives it a base, doesn't it, for the sand to go on. I don't know how much of a good idea that is, though. Right, this can go here. Right, 2 more rocks and I think we're clear. And my guess is it will then say it wants a road. The infrastructure plan's there. We just need to work out quarry position and how we're going to do it. Obviously we have got mobile quarries we can activate as well. There we go, that is that complete. Build a road to the radio tower, there we go. We knew it was coming. Okay. Why will create? Oh, I'm still attached, there we go. Okay, so it wants us to build a road. Like I say, I think our best bet of doing that is filling that in with sand first. Also means that AI can't do this for us, I don't think. Now, we've got a sand quarry over here. As the mission hasn't changed, we'll follow through the rest of the mission. Thanks for the like, that was much appreciated. If the mission had gone off and it's a brand new mission, we may not do it straight away, but because it isn't, we'll do it now. So that quarry there... Oh, we can't activate it. We haven't got any tokens. We need 6 tokens to activate that. And even then, it's not got a very good reach. I suppose we do have to go from here to start fill this in and make the road that way, to be fair. Yeah, that's a problem. We haven't got any tokens. So we can't activate the quarry. If we can't activate the quarry, our nearest sand point is all the way over here near dry stone, which is a lot further to try and grab stuff. So if that's the case, we need to look at the missions that give us tokens, specifically 6 to unlock that. So resources to Northlock, no. Archeologists camp, no. Flood wall, no. And obviously the one we're doing, no. So what do we got here? Return the archaeological equipment that needs returning. That needs it. There's also a sand quarry, that needs 6. Then we'll get 7 for that, and the dry stone base over down here will also be restored. Okay, so that gives us 7. Oh, that will. Oh, wow. Okay, so an infrastructure route, which we're definitely not doing yet because there's no way it's going to make it. That will give us 4 concrete slabs. That's interesting. And all the archaeological sites. Okay, so the only mission we have currently is return the archaeological equipment. Now, it says return. Currently, it says find the object, which is over here. Now, my thinking is, it says find the object, but we'll need to pick it up, whatever it is, and bring it back to here. So we need a vehicle that can pick something up. So we're looking at like either the mule or the Voron, I believe. That's probably our best bet here. Where is our nearest one is the question, though, because we don't know what's there. Where's our vehicles currently? What are you? You're just a crane, to be fair. Obviously, we don't know what the road is going to be like or anything. That's... I don't think... Have we not got the mule or anything out and about? I don't think we have. Let's have a look. Find them this way, be quicker. So the mule and Voron, whichever's close is the one we use. Where's this one? Okay, that's back at base there. That's not... is that ours? No, that's not ours. That's got something to deliver. That's a mission-related vehicle. Voron is down here in the village. Maybe we head from there, to be fair. I don't think actually other vehicles out. I don't think the mule's out. I think we take the Voron and we see if we can find a way to there to grab this object, to bring it back. Hopefully then we can unlock the quarry, build that road, radio tower, all that good stuff, and kind of do that way. I think that's our best bet. So we're here. It's because we were using this last time where we try and load from there. The pole crane, anchors. The Voron is the most stable according to the stats. Right. Let's clear that off so I don't see that. We want to go back over here. It also wants us to build a road here. Again, sand quarry is needed there. The only other thing we have got the vehicle that sits on sand and gives us sand. I don't know how big the reach is of that. I don't think it's massive, to be fair. But potentially we could put it here, and it would give us something at the very least. But I don't think it would be enough to do a whole road like this. Plus there's lots of water to fill in as well. I think we're lots of back and forth. That's my only concern there. Let's see how we can get across here. So this road goes here. Okay, there's the kind of a bridge down here we can utilise, I think. Then that gets us to the Archeologist camp. Do we head up from there, maybe? Some more dodgy area. It's just all horrifically bad, isn't it? And obviously we can't see. I think, obviously, this road here, we need to get to here then, don't we? The hot steel beans facility, which is this road here. Hope we can get through some of this water, to be fair. So we want to be going... That quarry's up and running. That quarry is up and running. Wow, okay. We need to be going this way and then down here, I think. To get to the steel beams and head north from there. Don't think there's a better way. Not easily. Yeah, I think we're going to be building quite a few roads by the looks of things. More than we first expected. This might be the most roads built on one map for us by the end of it. It's going to be tough. But until we can activate these quarries, a lot of this is kind of going to be too difficult to do without the quarries activated. So we've got to focus on that. And I think this first quarry here will activate enough to give us roads to use more of. So, i.e. this road here, which will mean navigating this a little bit easier. Currently these are just infrastructure requests, they're not actually needed for 100%, but it will make our life easier, and maybe linked to a mission anyway. Right, let's have a look. From here we want to be going to the right and then to the left. I don't know if I'm going to regret going this way, but we'll see. We know the Voron and the Mule both are very good on most terrains, and although Kelly did say at the start of this map tractor vehicles would be best, I think they should be able to hold their own, hopefully. I just laptop's come up with a notification that I didn't need to see right now. Just left it in the middle of the screen. There we go. So we know there's wood down in the water here, that will help us get across. I think heading this way is the right decision. If we don't need to pick this up by the end of this and take it back properly, that's going to be annoying because we could have used the scout vehicle, which would be a lot quicker and easier. Right, where's the crossing point? All the way further down here. So we left at this big triangular bit here to there. Just making yeah, I think this is their best bet. Always get to that point of thinking, right, is there a better way, is there an easier route to take? Because this seems quite a long-winded way of getting there, but I think, currently as it stands, this is our only route, by the looks of things. We need to open up that bit of the map anyway, so it'd be good to see what's there. We are missing the concrete facility, we don't know where that is yet. I'm pretty sure we've not seen it on the map, so if that's there, that would be handy. Part of me thinks we should try and go over the rocks there, but I think that won't work. This wood's quite handy though. Yeah, there's nowhere properly up there. That's something. What is that? It's a hot spring, isn't it? Kind of thing, I think. Wow, that's quite cool. So we could go along this edge. Looks doable to a point, but that will get us up here. Or do we carry on round? Because either way, we've got to. There's wood here to cross here. Get to here, and then head north. Yeah, I think we carry on the way we first planned, rather than try and work out a different route. I think stick to first thoughts. Otherwise, we're going to get ourselves in a mess. We still may get to a point we'll get stuck in the mud, and then we're done for anyway. Hoping that won't be the case. So the Vaughan and the Mule are both very good in most conditions, but there's a limit. The wood here, that's where the rocks are, isn't it? I remember this from when we did delivery to the Archeologists. Yeah, this is a bad decision. All them rocks need moving out of the way just to be able to utilise this wooden route. I'm stuck. I've come off the wood and now I can't get back on it, I don't think. Come on. Try anchors to lift us up a little bit here. Right. Come on. I can't go back at all. Can go forward. How deep is it? Are we going to end up drowning the vehicle? Yeah, potentially. Hello? Come on. We're back up. Ideally, we need to pick all these rocks up and then we can utilise the wood. Because these rocks cover this whole wooden pathway. So we can't currently use it. And there is a route here, but it's very muddy. I just wonder if it's worth us now grabbing these rocks and moving. We've got a crane on board, haven't we? Is it worth moving these now, maybe? Some of them look quite big, though. Let's see what we can do here. I'm thinking we chuck them in the water, is what I'm thinking. It means that we can use the wooden walkway as a road. That would be better. Look at the big one. There you go. You can see how much that's moving us already. Some of the rocks are exactly that, Crazy Ashman, exactly that. This is quite a heavy one. It's moving us as we do it, to be fair. I think they can stay there. It is balanced on some wood, to be fair. Only a small one. That big rock wasn't moving very far, to be fair. Come on. Right. Anchors down. Move forward a bit more. If we clear this now, it will help us in the long run, so it's worth taking that extra minute just to do these things. It's so easy to leave them and find a different way, but long term, we are going to keep needing this route, I think. So it makes sense to clear what we can now. It will make our life easier in the long run. Should have got the big one there, to be fair. Right, big one. Right, be careful, this it is going to hit us. Be careful, it's going to tip us over. There we go. I think that's all the loose ones here. Yeah. Move forward again. Your Assassin's Creed Shadows comment? No, I didn't. I haven't got a comment come up. Bear me a second. I haven't seen any comments, to be fair. Yeah, no, I haven't got a comment for you at all. The last comment we had on the video was 5 days ago. There's no comment that's showing up at all. What was your comment? Yeah, the last comment was 5 days ago. That there's nothing else there. Weirdly. Okay. Then cleared. Let's load the rocks. Oh, this. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Big Francis Michelle. That's the second game boss you've died in a game. Oh, really? Okay. I forgot about the one in Star Wars. To be fair. It's at least we got there in the end. You know, this is the biggest thing with them kind of fights is perseverance, isn't it? But that was the toughest fight in the whole game. Yeah, by far the toughest fight in that whole game. But we got there in the end. That was the important part. Right, move forward again. Yeah, we'll be back in the shadows tomorrow. There's a couple more things to do. There's still some DLC bits we haven't finished. And then we'll start looking at this platinum as well. Platinum itself, the trophies aren't too bad. The hardest thing I think is finding legendary animals, which goes against every fibre of my being to say we'll have to use a guide. I can't see a natural way of doing it. I haven't looked yet how we find them, to be fair, in case I change my mind about using a guide, but yeah, I'm glad we beat him as well. It was one of those that we just had to keep persevering, to be fair. They're the fights you remember though after you finished, aren't they? They're the fights that, you know, really make you look at the game and go, actually I really enjoyed that. Despite it being tricky, they're the ones you remember. The minor boss fights that are over in 5 minutes, you don't really remember very often. Right, I think we're all clear. I think that's all the rocks now clear off this pathway. So the full crane anchors. Change camera. So that is the pathway now usable. So we get stuck straight in the mud afterwards. It's like, well, that was a pointless, wasn't it? Keep looking at all these different routes and thinking we just need roads. Just a massive road network will make our life so much easier. Right, so from here we need to cross another wooden crossing here, and once we get to this sand quarry we want to head left and up there. And even then we may encounter a problem because it does look like there's a bridge needed. We still might be able to get round. Well, hopefully we can still get round. Because we're not going to get any bridge made here currently. But yeah, I wonder if our sands, I can't remember what it's called, scraper, don't do it. It's slightly off the edge there. Can't think what it's called. The sands machine we haven't really used properly yet. We haven't really found the time or the chance to use it properly. We have tried on here already, and it wouldn't do it because of the lack of sand. But yeah, I wonder if that would help us in some of these areas where you can't activate the quarry. I'm only concerned I don't think it's got a massive breach, which is the only issue. Right, we're now going to see how bad it is without the bridge being here. Can we still cross is the question. I don't know if we can still cross, looking at that. Although actually it doesn't look that deep. I think it's more road deep, isn't it? Yeah, road deep. Which means if we have to put a road in, we just need sand to fill it in. Doesn't need a bridge. This one on the other hand might be different. No, maybe not actually. I think again it's going to be just deep enough to put sand to cover it up later. Absolutely fine so far. I really thought we'd be struggling with these bits. I thought we need bridges. Now ideally we would have brought our scout vehicle to be able to scan for this object, but because it said we need to bring it back, kind of makes no sense bringing 2 vehicles. So hopefully, I'm also hoping this road leads up to where we're going. It doesn't look like it snakes round. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm glad we extended and just got it done. I wouldn't have. I think it would have been worse if we'd stopped, come back and do it another time. It's lagged there by the looks of things. It's a bit weird. Right, I think this road does go round to the right, which is what we're after. Lots of scrap vehicles here, all been damaged by the earthquakes, rather than just dumped by the looks of things. There's a little more damage than an earthquake should have caused, to be fair. Right, let's have a look at this. So we're currently here. This road leads us back over here. Now, so by the looks of it, isn't a road leading directly to where we're going. I think we've got to cross the hill here. Because this road will just go this way, which then can go towards the hot geothermal spring that's there. Whereas this road we're following goes to the quarry. Now the road that comes off the quarry doesn't go where we're heading. So I think we just need to try going across the hills. This is where a scout vehicle would do us better. But at the same time, if we need to bring this object back to the archaeology camp, which is what I'm expecting it to do, it wouldn't be the right thing for it. So let's try a bit of cross country and hope for the best here. They're saying that. That's a lot of water in between us and potentially where we need to go. But no, I think we can. I think there is a crossing there. The last thing we want to do here is tip. That would be the worst thing right now. Right, we're in the search area. There's the geothermal springs there as well. Look at the colour. That green colour coming from there is really cool. Okay, can we see on the map? No, because it's not going to show us the whole area. Okay. I was hoping we'd be able to see something that looked like an object on the map, but we're not just yet. So we're looking for an object. It's come off a vehicle, I believe it says. Let's have a quick look. Recently, the archaeologists left a truck with valuable equipment to the north of their camp. Mapping tools, video recorder, measuring. Okay. So we're looking for a crate, essentially. So it should be obvious once we find it or see it.
Hey, I just got a message from those archaeologists. Looks like they had to leave a truck full of equipment in their base camp when they evacuated during the quake. Maybe they shouldn't have bothered since both the truck and the camp survived. Still, they made themselves busy elsewhere, so if you deliver the truck to their new place, they'll let us keep the old camp as a base of operations. Sounds like a great deal to me.
You're kidding me. Okay, so we could have come here in the scout vehicle because we're going to drive the truck once we find it back. That's annoying. I could have brought a scout vehicle and this would be a lot easier and quicker. Although we wouldn't have been able to clear the rocks, admittedly, so we kind of helped ourselves there. So we're looking for a vehicle. By the looks of things. And frustratingly, we would be able to scan with the scout as well, which we can't currently do. But yeah, sod's law. That we came here thinking, oh, we've got to pick it up, so we better bring something with a crane. We didn't need a crane. It is sod's law, absolutely. Nothing obvious showing up as of yet, though I must admit. Looking on the map for any clues to where it potentially could be. There's nothing obvious on there. Alright, let's keep looking. As I say, a scout would scan, but we can't do that with the raw one. Is that a vehicle there? There is a vehicle there. Hang on, we may have... Oh, that's deep. No, that's deep. There's a vehicle there. Does look a little bit stuck though. And that is extremely deep. Need to try and get around the side here, I think. That got deep very quickly. The hardest thing with navigating these rocks is not to tip over. And it won't take much to really lopside us. So I'm trying to stay off the rocks where possible. So that can't happen. Is that the vehicle there? think that's the vehicle. How I'm getting that out of there, I'm not too sure. Right, that's their vehicle. It's got to be, hasn't it? I need to pull it to safety without pulling us in and tipping us over. Not really in the best position, to be fair. But I think that's it. It hasn't said we've got it. If I connect... Well, it's still not saying we've got it. I think we need to be closer to it, which to accept we've got it. Right, I think we need to be on a better, firmer standing, rather than at an angle like that. Kind of just want to drag it to us, essentially, is my thinking. Are we close enough to connect, though? Nah, it's not going to be able to... We're too far away to connect now. Just wanted it to be close enough we could drag. Anchors, even on that ground, I don't think anchors would be a good decision. Kind of want to go... Going to get deep really quickly here, I think. Is that enough for us to actually pull it out? Yes. Right, we've got enough to pull it out. Okay. It's not saying we found it though, is it? That's definitely a vehicle with stuff on it. Unless that's not the right vehicle. It's not saying we found it. Which I would have thought, once we connect and pulled it closer to us, it would say so. Yeah, that's weird. Let's drop it down a minute. Oh no, but there it is. That is the object. Okay, can we drive it? No. Okay, so that is the right object. There's no wheels on it. Oh, that's a good point. I did think it was tracked. Is it not tracked? It is tracked, but the tracks aren't there. Yeah, them little wheels are where tracks go, I believe. Right, somehow we've got to take this with us. I'm kind of thinking we need to load it in the back and hope for the best here. We've got to get it all the way down there, is the concern. So first of all, we're going to get out of here. Now, the minute I take them anchors, I don't know how we're going to go. I'm thinking we kind of need to move back here if we can. Anchors. Slowly does it here. That's what I was afraid of, was that pulling us down. But to be fair, the rock's not helping. No, I've gone. No. Come on, tip us back over. Engine is still running. This is the only way we're still going at this point. Come on, crane. Normally you can see what you're doing with the crane. I can't see it under the water. No, engine's gone. Ah! Engine stalled. The vehicle has stopped. Well, we know where what we're after is. We're now going to get there with something else. Basically, we need a scout vehicle to tow, don't we? Is my thinking. Got all the way there though, and then tipped over. That's annoying. Okay, we have got a scout vehicle up here. From here, we can probably head down. That bridge is broken there. I think potentially we can get down from here. Yeah, what scout vehicle have we got over here? Over here. The Malamute, that will do us. Yeah, I think with the Malamute we should be able, because it will navigate the water pretty well. This doesn't have a towing option, but it doesn't necessarily need one because the other thing hasn't got wheels. If the other thing had wheels, then yes, we would need to tow it, but obviously can't tow something that doesn't have wheels. We're going the wrong way here, aren't we? We'll go this way. So actually, I don't think towing is the right answer. If we can't tow a vehicle because it's hasn't got wheels, we could drag it, but it's not going to do well. I think probably get the Voron back on its wheels and then try and get it in the back, I suppose. Because you can't drag something all that way. It will just get caught everywhere. But a scout vehicle is the quickest thing to get there to try and get us back on our feet. Yeah, I'm kind of guessing this is where we need to be going. Yeah, there's the way in and out. This will navigate the water pretty well, that's the thing. But yeah, you can't tow something that hasn't got its own power, can you really? We need to head right and then left down to here. And then we'll probably go a little bit cross country here is my thinking. So right and then left. Yeah, we can try dragging it to a degree, but I just don't know how far we'll get, that's the thing. I think more if we can get the Voron back on its wheels. Potentially try and lift it in the back. We could probably drag it into a better positioning though, a more level surface maybe. That would help us actually move, to actually get it on board. Right, we can see where we're heading. There's a bit of a road here actually. Where's that kind of lit? Oh, it kind of goes around here, doesn't it? There we go. I don't know if there's a way across here. But yeah, there is a kind of road here that leads to the quarry. We couldn't see this last time because it was under the cloud. Fog of war it's called. Weirdly. So that's the quarry there that we've seen. Not too sure if we can get to where we want to from here. Because that drops down there, which is why what I don't want to go into. I want to be. I can probably drive through with this because it's got quite high wheels, but quite chunky ones. But we can probably go round. There was always a potential for us to roll ourselves over there. It was always going to be a big possibility of what we was trying to do manoeuvre-wise. So I'm not surprised that happened. Just annoying at the same time. The Malamute should be more than enough to at least get us back going again. The only issue is going to be how do we get that other thing out. I think we can put it on the back, but it's going to be extremely heavy. That's the thing. This can go in quite a bit of the water because of its tyres, to be fair. There we go. Just round the corner here is where we are. So if we tip this over, we're in big trouble. Right. Should be able to just winch the Voron back on its feet, in all honesty. I want the top bit if we can. That'll do. Okay. Come on. Thought that'd be an easy just tip back over, but actually, it's not liking it. Really? Oh, we can tow. Towing's off. This didn't have a towing option, but now we're attached to a vehicle, it does. I don't think that's going to make any difference though, because it can't start its engine. I think potentially we try and put it back on its back, on the winch on the back. Right, let's wait. I know it's warning us of deep water. Right, what we want to do, we're back over here, but we want to attach the winch from the back of the vehicle and try going that way. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to just pull that vehicle all the way to the archaeology camp. Otherwise, we would try. The crane should automatically detach though. Yeah, the crane's detached. Engine's not running. Yeah, crane is detached. But the crane is kind of at the wrong angle, weight-wise, isn't it? It's not doing anything, is it? Okay, if we can't do that, maybe we need to get to the front and pull it round from the front, maybe. It's really not happy though, is it? Oh, hang on. Let's try that corner. I think some of the issue is the fact the crane weight is on the other side, which is stopping us. I don't even know if I can get that back up. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do this. Which means we might have to try dragging the vehicle. Okay, let's be careful here not to make this flip over. I want to get to the front without obviously messing ourselves up here. Don't do it. Right. I don't know how deep this will be. Too deep. I was hoping I could put it from the front. But I think that's going to be... No. No, we're fine. For a second that could be too deep for us, but it's not. Right. Thinking is we attach... Well, I don't think that's attached in the right place, to be fair. No. I don't think we can pull this back upright, to be fair, the way it's looking. If we can't get it back upright, then we've got to think of a plan B. Really tipping ourselves over there. No. Yeah, we need a different plan. It could be, to be fair, the crane could be stuck. I can't do anything about it though, that's the thing. The only thing maybe is hit it from the other side. If we drive into it from the other side, maybe. Move it, I think. Although that is moving a little bit. If I can get the engine running, that would help massively because we can reset the crane and stuff. I need the engine running. The wrong angle. Okay, if we can't get this to work, what we need to do is try and drag that out the way then. And hope and see if we can drag it to where we need to go. So to do that, hang on. I moved quite a bit there. That is moving. But I don't know if it's enough. Yeah, I can't move the thing. I can attach though. So we can attach, but that's it. Can't fold crane. Yeah, can't fold. No anchors. I think we have moved it a little bit though. Right, let's see if we can tow this vehicle out first. I think the priority is getting this thing back. So I can't even pull it. Yeah, I can't even tow it. That does not move. So we have to lift it, don't we? Because we can't actually even drag it anywhere. Which means we've got two choices. We either give up and get the recall the Voron and try and get it back here, or we persist in trying to get back on its wheels, which potentially may be pointless and it won't work anyway. See if I can get to the front of it, maybe. So the crane is the following. The crane's stopping it because it's too heavy on one side because the crane's there. If the crane wasn't out, we'd be able to move it, I think, a lot easier. Put it backwards. Yeah, we could try that, to be fair. I think it's stuck. I think we need a crane no matter what. But yeah, that's barely moving, is it? It's rocking, but that's about it. I don't think it's actually moving. Yeah. No, that's not going anywhere, I don't think. I don't even think pulling it from the other side will work either. I think that needs a crane to lift it. That's it. I don't think we can do anything else with it. It's not necessarily stuck on anything either, because it can't even move if I'm bumping into it. I just think it isn't, because it hasn't got wheels. It is just stuck. Which I did think may be the issue in towing it. Because it hasn't got any wheels, it won't actually tow. Yeah, I can't get the ball on back upright. It's not going to happen. I think I've only betted to recall the Voron. Because we just want to waste loads of time trying to get this upright. But yeah, I can't do anything. Right. Yeah, it's the crane arm is the problem. I can't do anything with it while the crane arm's where it is. Where's the best place to send this to? I don't... Northlock Village again, isn't it? I think it's Northlock Village and then head back there. I don't think we've got much choice in the matter. Yeah, I don't think we've got a choice, have we? So, Northlock Village, we need to recall the Voron. And just had a thought, we've not used the pike. So this is a vehicle transporter, but I think to get it on board we need wheels to drag it up there. It's a vehicle we've not used. And that's actually still the rusty version, to be fair. That'll take too long to get there, wouldn't it? I'm just trying to think, is there another crane we can send? We're going to need tokens, so we can't use the mobile bases because we haven't got any tokens either. This is the mission that gives us some tokens to use. Or we could deploy the mule. There's no point in taking two vehicles, we might as well do that, I think. There we go. Right, we need to get back there. That went wrong very quickly, as we saw. Hopefully we can do a better job this time. Yeah, we just wait. Sometimes I can be a bit too stubborn for my own good, and then we don't recall something, and we waste a lot of time. And where I should have just recalled it in the first place. That's the thing. I know I'm quite bad for doing that. I'll just think I can get out of there when there's no hope I'm ever going to get it out. But I stay stubborn and think I can do it. No. I think I'm going the wrong way here, aren't I? No, we need to go out there. At some point we need to clear all this debris as well out of the way here. We've just been pushing through it, but we are going to need to move it at some point, I think. When we start having convoys coming this way is when we're going to need to do lots of different things. I think there's going to be a big old road going all the way through this village by the end of it. I don't think our road will stop where it says there. I think we'll do more than that. Just to make our life easy. If there's any convoys, they won't make it. So, we might have a choice but to make loads of roads. This may be the one map we make more roads than any other, I think, looking at it. Because the earthquake has done such a job on any kind of roads and mud trails, it's just horrendous. Convoys will not get anywhere. But yeah, I know I can be quite stubborn and not recall things when I should. Spend too long trying to get around it. Trying to learn from my mistakes, to be fair. Right, I think we're heading left here, aren't we? Or are we heading right? Oh no, we're heading right and then followed by a left. Getting there is not that difficult. It'll just take a couple of minutes to get there. But it's what do we do once there? Because somehow we've got to get that vehicle without the tracks on the back of this. Now we're only guessing this can carry it. It can hold more weight than the mule can, and it's more stable according to the numbers. But that's still a big heavy vehicle putting on the back of this, and we are just hoping it can handle it, because we're going to be very top heavy as well, I think, which will present its own challenges, especially when navigating them rocks and them hills. So that could be interesting to try and figure out. The one thing we did work out, we've cleared all the rocks off the wooden path here, which is good. And the other thing we've also done is worked out that some of the little bits of water near roads aren't deep enough to worry us. So that does help us a lot going forward as well. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going the wrong way. I'm not. I'm going the right way. But yeah, this is all going to have to be a road eventually, I think. If we're going to need to make multiple journeys to and from the Archeologists camp and stuff, this needs to end up being a road, doesn't it, going forward? We just need the tokens to open up the quarry to start doing the roads. That's the problem. So we have to do this mission to obtain some tokens to open a quarry. There's no other missions we currently have on that give us tokens. And we need 6 to open up the quarry near the village. We can't do the village missions without that, or we have to travel a long way just to get sand, which will be a pain. I think we're going to end up having to try and move sand around at some point with the heavy dumpers and stuff, because there's not enough quarries in locations close enough to where I think we're going to need to build roads and stuff. So I think at some point we are going to need to start doing a chain with the heavy dumpers, I think. That's why I was hoping that vehicle that can scrape the ground of sand would help us, but I don't think its reach is going to be enough. So as time will tell. Right, we need to get across here, and then we're going left of the quarry, essentially. We are going the right way. Just hard going with all the mud. And over time, this route, the more we use it, is going to degrade and just get worse and worse. Hence why I think we'll need roads at some point. At least there's a quarry here to do it. But yeah, by the end of this, this map will probably be the one that has proper road network. We have built roads on other maps where it hasn't always told us to do it. We've done it to make our life easier, so a convoy can complete. But I think this is going to beat all that by far, the way it's looking. Because every track is just horrendous to drive. And once we start more convoys, you've got no chance. Because a convoy wouldn't get through what we just got through to get here. It would never make it, that's the thing. Right. There is a point we need to start travelling cross country, isn't there, I think? Oh no, we still go north here. It was by the springs here, wasn't it? We went across. I thought it was actually closer than we are, to be fair. So far today, we've done one side mission, an hour and a half, and that's it. We've done part of this mission, to be fair, because we did part of a different mission because we cleared the way to the radio tower, but we couldn't complete the second part. It needs a road that we can't build without a quarry. So although it doesn't feel like I've achieved very much so far today, I think this map is probably going to be the longest map out of all of them. But we've not achieved, it doesn't feel like we've achieved much yet, and unless we get that quarry open, I'm not sure it will. Right, not there. We'll take a right hand turn. I think it's after these vehicles, if I remember correctly. But I'm liking the level of difficulty for the final base game map. As I said earlier, if it was just really easy, like Ultimate Sojourn was. Sojourn was really simple. It just wasn't an issue driving anywhere. We did do a couple of roads, but nothing was really out of the way. It just worked out really nicely. And if this had been the same, I think it might have been a bit of a disappointment to finish off with a map without a challenge. So I'm glad this is difficult. It's just a case of persevering and making sure we make smart decisions in terms of roads and things. Okay. Obviously, we're going to be so careful not to tip back over again. And this isn't the Malamute. It isn't going to make it over deep water. We got stuck in a rock, haven't we? Get him, mate. I didn't see the rock. I was trying to avoid the other ones without going too close to that other side. And now I'm stuck on a rock. What I probably can do. I'm going to try and hit the rocks here if possible. Can't go any further down. Just try and tip it enough to actually get it moving. If this tips over, we're in trouble. I think we're okay. Crane. Still balancing, aren't we? Always off enough then, but no. Come on. Don't tip. If it tips over, we've got to go all the way back again. No. Right, we're okay. We're off. That was close. Admittedly, I didn't see the rock there until it was too late. And then we got caught up on it. Right. So just over this ridge, I think, is where the vehicle is. We need to pick up. And once it's in the back, we're going to be really, really top heavy, which is going to be problematic. There it is. There's the vehicle. There's the Malamute. The issue is going to be, as I say, getting in the back's the one problem, and then navigating this terrain with it on the back is another. Because we're going to be very, very top heavy. So we're going to have to avoid every rock we can. And every uneven surface, which is not going to be simple. Right, I'm hoping, though, we're flat enough now to kind of lift it up. If we put our anchors out here, we are close enough, I think, yeah, to drag it. There we go. Oh, okay, we're tipping a bit. The weight of it's my only concern at this point. I need it kind of next to us if we can, to then try and get it up. I don't want to try and get it up too early, because we will then tip ourselves over. If we can put this back across from us, then we can then hopefully reattach and bring it up. The problem is, obviously, it hasn't got any wheels or tracks, but it's moving okay though. I may have it the wrong way around. It's got a big old tow bar on the back, which may, we're going to have to spin it, which is not what I want it to be doing. It's in the air. Right, how's the weight? Okay, we're tipping a little bit. We need to bring it further towards us. Spin it round. This is going to be tricky. Trying to get as close to us as quickly as we can to avoid us tipping over. In the end, actually bringing a vehicle that can carry things was a good plan. In the end, I didn't expect it to be a vehicle, to be fair, when we first read the mission. But at the same time, getting this on board and getting out of here is going to still be problematic. Right, I want to come more to the left. More here as well. It's never going to sit perfectly. That tow bar is going to make it stick out, I think. As long as we can strap it, we're okay. But I need to get this right, I think, to actually make it so we're less tipping. And so it straps. Basically there, I just need the swing to work itself out. Yeah, see, we're not quite there. Every time I try and get it in position, it moves. Don't go that way. Right, it's just It's kind of in. I think they might be in as much as we can without me keep messing around a bit. I just wanted it more to this side a little bit. There we go, we're in. Right, if I unattach, can we strap? We can strap, okay. This is going to be extremely tippy. So we kind of need to think what's the best route out of here without us going all over the place. We need to get it to... Where are we heading is the question. Oh, down here. Okay, so we need to get it to there. There is a road we can use here, which is the road we utilised to get here in the first place. So we kind of need to navigate these hills slowly and carefully to get back onto this road, and then it should be fairly plain sailing if we take it easy. So I need to go back this way, don't I think? There's a hill that... Yeah, I think we want to go this way, which is there. Rock directly behind. Oh, okay, it's that way. I'm nervous about this. It won't take much for us to tip over. At least we can carry the load. It's not too heavy. That's something. But my concern is tipping. Obviously, depending how we tip, we have always got the Malamute to try and get us back upright. It just depends how we tip. If we tip in a really bad way, it won't help, and then we're kind of done for. Okay. Before we go too far, let's keep checking route. So, I was going to go through that water there, which is the way we came in, but it's quite deep. What I'm thinking is, that's going to be really deep, isn't it? There's a rock surface here. I think maybe up there is our safest path to here, and then it comes around, and it's fairly simple from there. So round the edge of this water here, and then we're heading. So there should be a rock face to our left, and then I think we're heading that way. I think. Got to make sure we get this right, because otherwise we're going to get ourselves in some trouble. Okay, did I pick the right one? No, I didn't. I did. I kind of did. We need to head right, and then down here. So we need to head right here. Got to take this easy, because I really don't want us to tip over. All to activate a quarry so we can do a road. That's all this is for. Other than the mission, obviously completing the mission, but the reason we're doing this now is so we can open a quarry. We need the tokens. Right, I think we're heading up straight ahead, and there should be a gap between two rocks. I think it's on that one here. To be fair, the load isn't as unstable as I expected it to be. I thought it would be a lot worse than it actually is, in all honesty. Right, we can see where we're getting back to. We saw these springs before. Are these springs or are they geysers? I don't know really what the difference is, to be fair. We're heading to that road is where we want to try and get to. So, past these rocks and to the right. And then we can head straight here. And then I think we're heading up here. You can definitely see the difference in weight though as we're trying to like turn there. You can definitely feel it, but it's not horrendous. Okay, down here. And across. So you go over here. Am I thinking up there? Yeah, I was thinking to the right here. That's not going to be simple, is it? Come on. Easy does it. Definitely, this mission hasn't gone as well as we first thought, to be fair, but I think we've made decent progress. As I say, road isn't a foregone conclusion. We can still tip over, but it will now be a lot easier now on the road again. We still need to be careful of speed in the corners and some of the deviations in the road surface. And then we've got to kind of find which road is going to lead us back to that camp to return this. Not 100% sure the best route. So don't want to tip this over. Okay. I think if we follow this straight on and go this way, don't we? We're basically heading back to the quarry, and the archaeologist camp is right near there. I'll be happy when this mission's done. I really will. So straight across here. Yeah, the weight, you can definitely see the weight's a problem. Well, not a problem, it can manage it just about. I think we're close to our limit of what the Voron can carry. And I'm glad we picked the Voron for this, because the mule can't carry as much as the Voron can. So the mule wouldn't be able to carry this, I don't think, without some severe problems. So I think we made a good choice. Please tell me this isn't deep. Is road deep? Road deep, we're fine. I think we've already been past these, so these are both road deep, I believe. Yeah. When I say road deep, all I mean is it's not much deeper than a road surface. It's not like we're going to suddenly flood the engine and get stuck. Whoa, we hit something there. There's something under the water that we just hit. A rock or something, we couldn't see it. But that stopped us in our tracks. Right, the quarry should be coming up in a second. There it is, you can just see it. And then at the quarry we want to head left, don't we? Okay, so we're heading through the quarry, left hand side. There is a route that leads there. Being careful on the turns. 200 metres away, come on, let's get this done. Roads to build. Okay, left here. What is that there? Do we? And that's the base we're about to unlock as well, that one there. We do need to do stuff here as well, road-wise, so we can get a convoy on the go. But I think we'll do the radio tower first, so that's what we started doing before this. Right, I don't know if I need to put this in a specific place, or we just need to drive into the square. I think I've got to unload it, looking at that. Can I? I'm going to try reversing up first and see if it does automatically, but I think we have to unload. Yeah, no, it did it. I wondered if it would. There we go. A new base of operations for us.
Looks like that radio tower next to Northlock was not the only one damaged by the quake. So, before even more locals start pestering us to fix them all, I suggest a plan. How about you install some repeaters in spots with poor coverage? This'll be good for us too. You'll be able to ask for help recovering your vehicles if they get stuck. What do you say?
Oh, okay.
And no interference from those pesky local councils either.
That's an interesting one. We can ask for help recovering vehicles. So bring additional antennae to the village's surroundings. This will give us more tokens as well. So at least we know we can get more tokens. So we need to pick up an object from the steel pipe facility kind of area and deliver them around around there. That's still quite a journey to do, carrying these antenna, to be fair. But before that, we're going to do what we set out to do in the first place, and that was the radio tower here to get up and running. But we need a road. So build a road to radio tower is what our plan was. That mission was a new side mission that's come up. So if we plan to do this one, the quarry here needs unlocking. This one here. What is it? Its reach is. If we unlock that, then means we can't unlock any others. That needs 4 tokens there. This one here needs 6 tokens. This one's already unlocked. The logistics terminal has one as well, but it's quite small. This is the one that we're going to utilise now. There's 2 different roads to build here to make getting out of Northlock easy. So I think what we do is we unlock this one for 6. There we go. We can now use that. I wonder if that road's not sandy enough. I'm just looking at the sand and seeing if we could use our vehicle, but I don't think it's going to be very helpful, to be fair. We need to put sand in this ditch down here so we can make the road fully go across. What we'll probably end up doing is, because that's the yellow door there, there's going to be a convoy from here. So we'll try and tarmac asphalt as much as we can here, all the way across. Kind of need to do the village to a degree as well. What we'll do, I think, is get a heavy dumper, position it there, so that will extend the reach a bit more. Because we can use the actual the heavy dumpers. What's it called? I'm trying. My words aren't working. The heavy dumpers that are rusty. We can use them to help with the extension of the actual thing. So this one here is a heavy dumper. So if we deploy that, and what we want to do is stick this on the edge of the. You can see it now. It's already increased that. So we want to stick it on this edge here because it will need refilling. So heavy dumpers, when you use them as a quarry, only give you an extension. They give you an extension, but you still need to keep refilling them. And they only hold 4 small loads, essentially, which isn't a massive amount when your reach isn't very far. But if you can be on the edge of this, my hope is that extends us enough. We can obviously use a smaller vehicle to actually lay the sand and use 2 heavy dumpers to extend. There is always that possibility. But this needs to be in the radius of the actual quarry to refill. So if we go here, I think we're still close enough to refill. We won't know obviously until we actually go to refill it though, to be fair. Yeah, I think we're on that edge, so that's extended it to there now, which I know isn't massive. We do need to move this out the way. As we're about to put a road in where that's currently sitting. Ideally, we'd get our, I can't think what it's called, scraper or something like that, on a sandy surface, and that would give us an extension as well. But I can't see a decent enough sandy surface to use it on. I don't know if that is sandy enough there. No, it's more stone than sand, isn't it, actually? So we can use that other heavy dumper here and extend it even more. It just then means we're only using a small dumper to lay the sand, which I don't really want to do. And we need to do this first bit ourselves because we need to cover that bit there. So if we now grab our other heavy dumper, we could buy more heavy dumpers, to be fair. I don't think there's any other heavy dumpers in the shop. That's the one we've got. The Tager's there, a smaller one. We have got that dump truck, but it's tiny. To be fair, how much does that hold? 5 ton. Normal dump truck is 10 ton, and the heavy is 40. Hence 4 loads, to be fair. There is a tracked heavy dumper, but we're not using that until we start DLC. So yeah, we haven't got a choice. I think this is our only option in terms of dumper truck. So it will mean a bit of back and forth by the looks of things. Yeah, that one. So first and foremost, we need to fill in that hole by where the water is, I think. So what we'll do, we'll get to it, reverse, and then try and do it in backwards. Because obviously we need to then go over the bit we've already put down. And then we'll do the rest of it. I still might use the AI to lay the sand down. Although I don't think it will go very well because it will lack sand after a while, to be fair. But what I found doing roads manually is you kind of need to start the far and work your way backwards, forwards, because otherwise you can have trouble going back over where you've already laid sand. That's the problem I find. I should have turned around before this, to be fair. So my thinking is we reverse up to where the hole is, tip a bit in, and then reverse a bit more, tip a bit in, reverse. Hopefully that'll fill the hole. Because I don't know if a bridge would count as a road, which is why I think we need to do this. Otherwise I would just put a bridge there, to be honest. I don't know what we count, that's the thing. Right, we need to make sure we get this right. There, stop. I didn't really get a plan because nothing really happened. I suppose we laid a bit where we are, but it didn't do much, did it? I actually thought we'd put more in there than that. Okay. Right, we need to get to where the other dumper is extended our reach, so we can refill. No, not close enough. I can't, because this one's a heavy dumper as well, I can't actually see the reach of the other heavy dumper. No. There we go. So you'll see the other heavy dumpers now run out. What I'm going to quickly do, jump in it and restock that one. Because its load is coming to us. And you can actually still load this up while driving. It doesn't stop. That's something we found out previously, to be fair. Right. Let's see if we can get more into that hole. It didn't look very much had gone in there, but I think it will this time. And I think once it's flattened out a bit as well, I think we'll find it'll fit it better. May need to bring my grader over earlier, to be fair. Stop that. A little bit too much to one side here, aren't I think. But I think the grader will make a difference in terms of spreading that further out. Because at the minute it just seems to disappear into nothing. As I say, I don't know if a bridge would count as a road, which is why I think we need to fill it with sand. I think what we do now is use a grader to kind of push that a little bit forward. It is actually filling it in. Can't tip any more out, to be fair. It's still coming out. I think that's it. What we'll do, we'll go and refill this, and while it's refilling, we'll grab our grader and just push that a bit and see what happens there. That may actually help it. and then we have to do the road. I want to go over this way if we can. I've got a grader through here. Is that close enough? No. There it is. That's close enough. Right, we'll swap to the other heavy, refill that. Jump into the garage while they're both refilling. And we need to recall our grader. This is one of the new graders we got recently. The Vostok ATM 53 Pioneer. This grader is incredible compared to the other one. And it's tracked, so it can actually go on most surfaces pretty well, to be fair. Don't need road signs. Okay, so they should both be full again. So they look like they are. We're just going to go and push the bit of the sand we have already put down and see if that fills in a bit more of the hole. But yeah, if anyone else has played this and done this mission, did you build a bridge or did you do what we're doing? I don't think a bridge would count. That's the thing. And these holes that we're seeing were actually created from the earthquake. So this wasn't a normal road before this, or track. I don't think it was ever a real road, to be fair. Right, let's get rid of the hint. Sand flatten him. See what happens. It does flatten a lot more than you realise as well. That's the thing when you do this. Until you actually start pushing it more and more, it doesn't seem to do too much. But it does. Suddenly out of the blue, then it'll move. It's actually nearly over the other side. I don't mind if it mounds up a little bit. They're actually nearly over. I think we need a bit more. Okay, that is nearly there. Right, we'll get the dumper truck back over and put a bit more in. But that isn't too far away from being done, that bit. And then we'll start doing the road properly after that. We'll have to lay sand further around. We need to have a look at the track and to see what it's like over the other side. If it is muddy, then I think we have to build the road all the way to where as close to Yellow Door as possible, because that is where a convoy will need to get to. Yellow Doors generally depict convoys start or finish points, so we do want to make sure that we're not going to have to relay some more of this once we're done. If we can get it all done in one shot, I think that makes the most sense. It's all going to depend on what the road's like the other side. Right, I think that's enough there. Just going to move that to the side and let grader over. As I say, we need to check what the road's like the other side anyway to see how far we're going to go. We're over. We are over. Just going to reverse that bit. We are probably going to need to flatten this out a bit better. Although that has made it over. Okay. Let's move this to the side. The rest of the road actually looks okay. For past where it says to build the road. Doesn't look too bad. In all honesty, let's jump into this. There's no, well, we haven't got a full load on us, but what we'll do is go over this bit. We've got to do the other side anyway. But actually that road looks fairly flat and not too bad to drive on. Is there any patch? See, there's patches here. That is where vehicles can get stuck. That's the only problem there. Is that it's possible vehicles will get stuck along here. I don't know how far it'll let us actually do this. Yeah, anywhere there's mud, a convoy can get stuck. That's the problem. How bad is it? But if they're using a wayfarer, I think they could have problems there. Although saying that, it doesn't seem that bad driving over it. But that does mean nothing, to be fair. We've seen how bad the wayfarers are. They may even have problems just coming out of that doorway, to be fair. Well, I think we start from here. Because of this standing water, that is just going to become mud. So my thinking is we start from there. And we'll go all the way to the bit it wants us to go to. No. Is that still doing it? No. It's showing it coming out, but it's not really coming out. So we've got to do a bit more than what it wants, what the actual mission entails, just to make sure that convoys can navigate easy enough. Now we could use a smaller dump truck and we wouldn't have to go as far each time, but I think this is probably our best option, to be fair. The smaller ones you just refill more often, which you might as well use a big dumper for that. Right, we can refill from there, swap vehicle to the other one, send that to refill back to ours. I think once you've started refilling, you then move away, it still carries on. So you do save yourself a bit of time doing that. Obviously, I'd be quicker went forwards, but then it would mean turning round once over the other side. I don't know which way is actually faster, to be fair, thinking about it. I like the fact this has gone wide enough that we shouldn't actually go off the road once you've built it. Once you've laid it. But we'll go all the way back. There's no other... We need to keep an eye out for piles of sand we can stick that other vehicle on, but I just haven't seen any. And every time we've tried to use it so far, it just says not enough sand, not an adequate surface. So it needs to be sandy, but I suppose you put it on where Quarry isn't active, you could then use it, I suppose. Saves you the tokens that way. Okay, so this is where we ended a minute ago. Let's make sure we do connect. I'm not a massive fan of doing the sand. I find I don't do it well enough. Got to make sure we put enough down, that's the thing. So easy to not put enough sand down, and then when you go and level it with the grader, you find it doesn't do anything. Still coming out. Is that everything? There's a little bit left in there still. Right, that's it. So we're getting there. Obviously this all takes time. Like I say, I could set up to do it automatically, and I probably will from here. I think once we put sand down, although I still need to go up to that point maybe. I just think while we're here doing it, we may as well do as much as we can in one go, and then it saves doing bits and pieces later, if that makes sense. Like this mud along here, it may even go across here, to be fair. It's already here anyway, because all we'd end up doing is coming back and doing it anyway. Especially if this convoy is going to come through here, but it needs to be able to manoeuvre round, and again, any kind of mud will just stop it moving. If they use any vehicle other than the Wayfarer, they'll be absolutely fine. Most vehicles will navigate pretty well, it's just the Wayfarer carries the most and generally is what's used on the first convoy. The convoys after that first one generally change vehicle to something more all-terrain, but I've noticed that there's a lot of Wayfarers very early on. Now I don't know if I set the AI to do this automatically. I don't know whether it will go and keep refilling from the dumper. I don't quite know how that works, to be fair. We've not really tried it. Maybe a test we have to see. Yep, no worries, Crazy Irishman. Thank you for joining us. Much appreciated. I hope it goes okay today. And our thoughts are with you during this time. So thank you very much for joining us, Crazy Irishman. I'm sure we'll speak soon. Thank you. Right, let's get this sand down here. That's as high as it goes. There we go. So we're right near the construction request. What I'm thinking we'll do is we'll grade all the way to the start here, and then the dumper can sit there and start it up and see what it does. I'm curious to whether it will automatically refill itself from the other heavy dumper we put nearby, or it will stop because it runs out of sand. I don't quite know how that'll work. It'll be a good test to see how much the AI will do for itself before we have to take over, because that would be handy to know for the future to see if we can leave it doing these things. Right, refill that. Back to ours. I like the fact we can still move while filling. Otherwise this will take a lot longer. Yeah, we just need to decide how far through the village we're going to go in terms of laying this road. The more we do now, the less we have to do later, I think. Because I think we are going to need to utilise the village roads quite a bit. But we'll go all the way to the point the request starts, grade it to there, and then see what the AI does as well. But we want to start from this side. It's a little bit easier to grade from this side, I find. But we haven't got far to get to the start point, at least. In fact, we might even do it this load, potentially. Okay. I think we might be a little bit short, but what we'll do, we'll quickly go and refill. We want a full dumper anyway, so we'll refill, do the little bit that we just needed on the end there, and then we'll quickly grade it and then set up so it does it automatically and see what happens. I am curious to see if it will keep refilling itself, or we need to keep jumping in. But at least it'll get to this end point here. Saves us a bit of time, if it does work. And the AI will lay it a lot more evenly than I can. To be fair, doing the village itself will be easier because it's all within the limit of the quarry, so you won't need to keep going to refill. You'll be able to refill on the spot, which will obviously save a massive amount of time as well. Right, what I'm going to do is put a little bit. I don't need much here. That's the thing. Okay, now stop. Right, I probably do need to grade that before we set this off. How will this coat going over that hill? No. Best way of doing this. It won't go over that hill very nicely, so we do need to grade it just to get it off and running. I was going to grade from the other side, but we just need to flatten this out essentially, and then we'll be able to put the dumper on this to start. Okay. So I think is now we reversed the dumper and set it off and see what it does. So it may work, I'm not sure, in all honesty. But if it does it while we're grading this other bit, it saves us a little bit of time. Right, if we open the construction request, section of road, select route. There we go, it's off and running. We want to jump into our grader. And we want to go and say it's more about will it carry on once it runs out of sand? Will it be able to refill itself, or will we have to come back and refill it? Because if we have to keep stopping to refill it, we might as well do the whole thing ourselves. That's the bit I'm unsure of, is the refilling sand. Okay. Come on. Let's get the other side of the sand. And then we can start from that far end and work towards where it's currently doing its thing. Come on, see over the other side of the sand. I'm actually turning the other way to it, but it won't do it. There we go. We may eventually need to join up a route to the right here as well at some point. Currently though, I don't think it's needed. But I've got a feeling this request will add on the need to do a convoy afterwards, I think. Right, let's flatten this sand. Let's see, make sure we've got enough down. It's amazing how much it pushes it out to the sides as well. So there's going to be a bit of a hill there because I put so much down in one place. It's always annoying. I don't mind the little hills though. It's always when you put too much down. Yeah, it does push it out quite well. There's no little gaps, it doesn't seem like. As I say, it means there's no excuse for vehicles to get stuck now. It is doing it on its own, isn't it? I think it's refilled sand as well. On its own. Which is quite handy to know. I weren't sure if it would or not, that's the thing. It's handy to know it will do it. It looks like it's done quite well, to be fair. I thought it would stop and then we'd have to keep manually refilling. But actually it doesn't like we do. In all honesty, it looks like it will just do its thing. Didn't lay any more over this little bridge bit either. It stopped there by the looks of things. It worked out really well. A lot quicker than we could have done it ourselves, to be fair, as well. So we've got to make sure we get this corner right. Oh, it has a mind of its own sometimes. Right, so how much more do we want to put sand down? That's the question. Because the village itself is near enough underwater. So, I think at least to here. I don't know where this convoy is going to want to go to and from. If we knew where the convoy would be going, it wouldn't be so bad. But obviously, until we've done the road itself, we don't know. Morning, LVs. How are you this morning? But I'm thinking we want to at least go potentially to this corner here. Obviously, this still needs clearing here, to be fair. So until that's clear, I think we do the road to maybe to here. Do you know what? Let's do it to here, which is the garage bit as we come out of the garage, and then we can always do more if once we see where the convoy wants to go. I think that's probably our best bet. So if we reverse this back up, nice. And dumper doesn't need refilling, admittedly. Left us an empty dumper. That's not very nice of it, is it? I think it would have refilled before it finished. Okay. We needed to turn around. Is it Thursday Ghost Yotai's out? Yeah, we're waiting after we did the vote. And everyone decided we won't do it on release. I'm not too worried. It gives us a chance to finish things like this though first. There's a lot more. There's a few things still to do in Assassin's Creed Shadows as well. So we'll get to it. I guarantee it probably wins the next vote, no matter what, doesn't it? That's the only thing. It's enough guaranteed to win that vote, I think. Right. At some point we still need to get to the new Mafia game as well. I've seen a few people play it. I've not seen them playing it, but I've seen that they've put their videos up. We need to get to that game at some point as well. So I'll straighten up a little bit here. We can refill as well. We can do that while moving, to be fair. So we're going as far as the garage entrance. I've never played Silent Hill. Obviously, I know of it. I've just never played anything like that, to be fair. So now we can put sand in ourselves without needing the other quarry, I think. So we go as far as the garage entrance. I think we've got more to do. It's better than Ghost of Tsushima. Ah, okay, interesting. Are the reviews out already then? I thought there'd be an embargo still, to be fair. I'm surprised the review's already out. Although I suppose it is Monday. Sometimes the embargo is until the day before. But I suppose it's out on Thursday. But yeah, definitely interesting. And there's also Dying Light as well. The new Dying Light game's already out. We just need to get a chance. We need to finish a few things off before we can vote. That's the only thing. Okay, we're just going to get to this up here to this corner. and then we can grade it, and then we'll start laying the asphalt tarmac. Last Thursday. Wow, okay, that's early for it. They've allowed them reviews to be released quite early, haven't they? I still don't believe in reviews. You know, most of them won't say a bad word about a game for fear they won't get a free game in the future. So anyone that's reviewing it, you can't trust what they say, because they're never going to say anything bad about a game in case they don't never get given a free one again. Now, if they criticise a production company or a game developer, they're never going to give them a free game to test, are they? So they've got no reason to be honest. The only thing they've got a reason to do is actually lie, so they can make sure they get another free game next time. That's the thing. That's my big issue with reviews. Right, I think that's it done. Go up the hill a little bit. There we go, we are done. Right, let's move this to the side. I don't quite know where we're going next or what we're doing next after this. I'm just going to move this to the side for a minute. The only issue we've got is vehicles will come out of here, so I want to be out of the way of that. So that will do. Right, we're going to jump in our grader and continue grading this round. Okay. So what we're going to do is just keep following this round, and then we'll come out with the asphalt layer. Sometimes I worry that we haven't put enough sand down, but actually once it's flattened it looks like it's loads. Too much in some instances, to be fair. But we get the little hills and stuff come up. One more snow runner I need to record this afternoon. That's the plan for this afternoon, is with snow runner. See how much more we can do in Alaska. Okay, we've got to get this bit right here coming out of the garage. I know we're going to head down, and we probably will add on at some point if we need to. But I wanted to make sure there's enough turning circle here was my first thought. Which is why I did it the way I did there. I'll spin it round and go straight. Obviously a lot easier to turn this because it's on tracks, you can turn in one motion. Yeah, I wanted to make sure we could turn here, and also we can add on when we want to. I didn't want to make adding this on difficult. There we go. There's quite a lot of turning space there, I think. I do think we'll need to put more on and go that way at some point, but at the minute, complete what we're doing, we'll do what we've got. So we need to jump into the garage now and get our asphalt layer out, which is the Arling Roadworks 120 special. That's our go-to at the minute. As it's the best one there is, actually, to be fair. There isn't another one that comes close. Okay. Get this going. Let's see how we go. I think here we want as much asphalt down as possible in this area, just to make this bit a bit easier to navigate. And to make sure that we've got a turning circle that works. There we go. Try to see if we can get on this edge bit here. Problem is, once we once we start rolling this, you actually lose an edge anyway. So making sure it's as wide as possible does make a difference at this point. Just because otherwise we'll lose an edge. It always keeps a loose edge, it seems. Okay. I do like this one, mainly because this is as wide as the grader puts it, the sand. So if you keep it in the middle, you can do the whole thing in one go. Whereas the other one's slightly smaller in terms of width. And we're having to do double runs to do roads to make them wide. As this one we don't need to do double runs, it actually does it perfectly. As long as you're in the middle. But we'll do this all the way to the bit up there. Trying to come off the middle there, didn't I? Yeah. I hate missing bits. I know it's more natural missing bits, as in the UK we have a big issue of potholes and things. But I do hate missing bits. Just need to make sure we're in the middle. And stay in the middle. Thing is, this thing can have a mind of its own at times. Corner isn't amazing. Let's go quickly back to over here. Can lay asphalt backwards, to be fair, which is a bit weird. Just want to make sure this is quite wide. Okay, back to the middle. The interesting bit would be over that water where we put the sand in. That would be an interesting thing. As I say, I don't know if a bridge would have counted, as it does specifically say build a road, and the actual marker, which will turn a different colour in a minute as we go through the asphalt. I don't think the actual bridge would have counted. We may have been able to put a bridge and sand on top of the bridge, but that would have been pointless. We might as well have done what we did. So I would assume you had to do a road, otherwise it wouldn't pass building the road bit or laying the road bit. We go across now. It's worked out really nicely, to be fair, a lot more than I expected it to. Pleasantly surprised with how much gone. Right, we keep going up, so we're doing all this while we're here. And the machine's already doing it. Still got one token left over from the tokens we got for the Archeologists. There is a mission now with more tokens, which I think we're going to need. I think a lot of our time on this map we've spent laying down roads so we can actually traverse different places. We need to find a concrete factory, or if there isn't one, we need to earn some slabs from one of the missions, or buy them from the shop, as we actually need to deliver a load of goods here in this village. And in there we need concrete slabs as well. And currently we can't see the place that actually produces them. And the majority of the map now is revealed, so I'm not sure, maybe like the trees, we have to get them ordered in essentially, because there isn't many here maybe. It has told us that previously with the trees. Right, there we go. That is that done. Let's move this out of the way. And now we just need to roll it, and that'll be mission complete as well as road complete, all the way to the radio tower as well from the garage. I think that's gone quite well, to be fair. The hardest bit of this was the actual laying the sand. This is the Arden Roadworks 750R. This is the roller we're using. It's the same width roughly as the asphalt layer. So again, you only really need to traverse over the asphalt once. In most instances, once you switch it on, of course. For this bit we did here though, we will have to go over it a couple of times just to make sure we get it all. As I say, it will leave an edge anyway, so it will never actually fully do it. It does spread it a little bit as well, to be fair. Okay. That's that side done. You can roll while reversing as well, so you can help yourself time-wise by doing that. Straight down again. You can see the edge it's leaving on the side. I believe you still get the same amount of grip from that kind of edge but obviously it's not the same as proper tarmac, but it always seems to leave one. So, and as I say, we may need to extend this road through the village at some point, but at the minute it's not specifically needed as it stands. But we also need to clear a load of debris out from the road itself, to be fair, really. So until we do that, I said this was the same size as the asphalt layer. I'm wrong. The asphalt layer is nearly double in length by the looks of it, because we can't fully do it all. Thought this was roughly the same length, but no. So we'll need to come back on ourselves to do the other side. If we're onto the right hand side, we can't go fully across. Yeah. So this isn't as wide actually. I was completely wrong on that. What we'll do is just roll this all the way to the other side and come back on ourselves. And that should be okay. Just trying to keep it tight to the right, really. I suppose it makes sense that it's not as wide, because the asphalt layer sticks out of the back as the actual bits that lay the asphalt come out. So it kind of makes sense that it's a different size, to be fair. Just me thinking, oh no, same size. No, it's not. Right, we did lay a little bit extra here for the corner. Make sure that's rolled as well. Okay. Now the actual mission bit itself, we've extended what it wanted us to do. This is the mission bit. It is going green, although only on one side, which is weird. I think it wouldn't go green yet. Somewhat. Only the first couple went green, strangely, that one. I suppose maybe I flattened over half of it. That's why it activates it as done. Maybe. I don't know. We were purposely going down one side to come back on the other, so I'm surprised at that. Trying to make sure we're in the middle as well to some degree, so we have to do it another 2 runs, because that would be annoying. The place normally for that is the corners, to be fair. But I think we've done a good job, and the extension definitely is going to help us, I think, going forward. And backwards and turning, all the other ones. My little boy started playing FIFA the weekend, so I pre-ordered it, but this year I didn't pre-order the bigger edition, because all you got with the bigger edition was early access, and other than a few packs and stuff that he's not fussed about. And the early access wasn't mad because he was at school, so it made sense to not pay as much, and he could play at the weekend when it actually released properly. He's been into that weekend. My only issue with EA is the AFC now, not FIFA. I get bored of it, especially career mode in it quite quickly. Because within a couple of seasons you can make yourself unbeatable. On my team I've never really bothered too much with, I've done the odd bit and piece. But he plays career mode religiously. Loves it. He has done the online stuff as well, and he's actually really good. For someone that's never really been bothered with these games for a few years, and then suddenly started the last couple of years showing an interest. He's actually really good at the online stuff. We won't ever have EAFC or FIFA, whatever you want to call it, on the channel. I've got no interest in ever streaming it or anything like that. It just doesn't interest me. I don't mind playing it a little bit with him occasionally, but even that's a bit of a push. I'd rather sit there and play Football Manager. It's more realistic, to be fair. That won't be on the channel either. It's the same as Minecraft. Like, I'll play Minecraft with my little boy. I've got the server so he can do what he wants, and although I play with him, we will never have Minecraft on the channel. It's just not something that I ever want to play myself. I only play because he wants me to with him. And I think also I think there's more videos of Minecraft than usually than any other game, and I'm not surprised. But I just think you then get yourself diluted into that group of people that our content isn't really focusing on. So, because most people that make Minecraft content only make Minecraft content, whereas we don't. We take variety to the next level, the amount of different things we have on the go. Right, let's get this last bit done. The mission will complete. We'll carry on towards our thing anyway. It actually finished off flattening the last bit for me there.
We have a cargo ship loaded with equipment to fix that radio tower of yours, but it'll take a little time. While we wait, we have plenty of requests. Seems you're popular now. Wanna guess with who? It's those rascals from Northlock again. And they won't even hear of putting someone else on the job. It is quite important though, so I can't blame them. They are real low on food right now, but the supply convoy is stuck in the southern tunnel. What you need to do is clear the debris at the tunnel exit and fix the road at the village entrance. Should be easy enough. So, could you do it post-haste?
Okay, so there's new missions appeared. We'll have a look at those once we finish the road. She did say about fixing the road in the village as well, but I think that's the other road that leads out that we've seen is actually there as an infrastructure request. Got a feeling it's that he's doing. We'll have a look in a minute, and there's obviously clear objects as well. The other road we knew about, and we were planning to do at some point. I don't really like going from one road to another road. I kind of want something else in between. Right, so that is that now all completely rolled. Let's check the sun out of the way for the minute. So our road is now complete. So we not only did we make a road to the radio tower, we went past that, past the actual one it wanted us to do, and made it all the way there. Again, we may need to do more yet. I'm not sure. I think we need to do village. But if we go to objectives, so she said some new things have appeared. This is, I think, the same mission. Because it didn't actually do it, it just went straight onto this one from what we just did. So I think the whole point of this was to do what we've just done, to then do the next bit. So this wants us to build a road. That's the bit we need to clear. That's the tunnel, southern tunnel. And then the convoy, we need to build this road over here, which comes out onto this main road there. So to be fair, that's not too bad to do. And that will link up to what we've just done over here. So that will link up there. We just need to clear this of all the debris there. But so we can do all this as a road as well, all the way to this main road here. And then the actual route we'll have to set a convoy off on. It will come down and it will actually follow the main bit of road. So that actually won't be too bad, I don't think, to do. But I think this is still part of the same mission because it didn't actually change. So I do believe this is all part of the same mission still. We do need to get a crane there. There's also an object to find over here. I think it's, yeah, find all the archaeological sites. So there is something in here we need to find. It'd be in one of these little gaps, I think. Because I don't think we can get on top. Or unless maybe we can here, I don't know. But yeah, we're going to need to get a crane over here to clear this debris. It's only rocks though, isn't it? Maybe we don't need... Might send a mule or something over. They're only small rocks, to be fair, so we might not need anything major over there. We also need to clear this over here. There's loads of debris here as well. Do you know what? Let's use something we haven't used in a while. I know that we've got a big crane there. We don't need a big crane. Let's just have a quick look. Is there anything new we haven't used yet? The cargo grab truck. Now, this thing I do want to use. We always said we want to use every vehicle, but it's a grabber. Now, my issue with a grabber is I don't know how well it's going to work, to be fair. It has got a 5-ton cargo bed. Do you know what? We could try it. That debris that's down by the road, we could clear first and just see how the grabber works. I'm not 100% sure how well it will go. Maybe with the rocks in the other bit might be quite good for it, but I'm just not sure really. But let's give it a go. We haven't had one before. I think it's the only crane we don't own. I know we've got the tracked heavy grab crane. That's another grabber as well. But look at the size of that grabber. That is massive. Jania, good morning. How are you? I'm hoping that's how you pronounce it. Thank you for the like, Laws. Much appreciated. That is a big grabber, isn't it? I kind of want to use that instead. So we don't own one of those. We've got the tracked heavy there. This is a grab crane though instead of the heavy crane. The cargo crane truck we're holding off till DLC. We've got the compact as well. I forgot about that. Do you know what? We do like to use new vehicles where we can here. So let's use this as a brand new vehicle. It's a heavy grabber. I think this would be good for them rocks at the very least. So it's this one here. So we need to clear the road first of all to get out of the village, and then from there we need to head round onto the road to the southern tunnel. I think we'll get a chance to see how good this is by doing so. Not the quickest, but also it'll be able to navigate the terrain when we're building the road pretty well, I think, which is important. So we need to head round here to the left, clear this area, head where the road's going to be built to the main road, head up to the tunnel, clear the rocks, and we'll get a good sense to see how well this does, and we'll know whether it's going to be useful going forward, because some of the cranes are rubbish and they're just no good to use. So I'm hoping this will be better. Obviously a grabber's different, good for rocks to be fair, but actually loading and unloading vehicles and stuff I don't think as good. We shall see how we go, because it's got a big jaws on it. I think that will help, but I don't know how it's going to actually do with picking stuff up. But that's the only way to know is by giving it a go, isn't it? So change the crack camera to it. Let's have a look how it does. We're actually nowhere near the item. That's the only thing I find with grabbers. It can be difficult to see if you're actually near it. So it can pick it up. I'm impressed. I thought because of how it looked I wouldn't be able to do it, to be fair. But actually it's not too bad. Are we blocking off anything by putting it there? Yeah, potentially the village there. Trying to move the camera so I can see. I suppose it won't block anything. This stuff can be recycled if need be. We want it off the road is the reason we're clearing it. You're from Sri Lanka, welcome. We've got a few subscribers from Sri Lanka, to be fair. Thanks to SLPCLK, to be honest. Well, I don't know if we can pick this up. It will pick it up, look at that. I'm pretty impressed with this grabber, to be fair. I really thought it wouldn't be able to pick anything up. I thought it was going to struggle. But actually, not too bad. Whether it's as quick as using the other cranes, I'm not sure, in all honesty, but I'm pretty happy with the way it picks things up at the minute though. We've had not brilliant luck with grabbers previously, especially with logs, but I'm pretty happy to see this actually is picking things up okay. Why will we not go up? Trying to let go of it. There we go. Come on. There we go. Kind of got caught in the tyre there. We are on crane cam, but I'm finding it tricky to see where things line up. Obviously we're moving this so we can put a road here. I suppose what we should have done is probably put it straight into something that can be used for recycling. Let's have it struggling with the weight. No, it's just the angle was holding it out, I think, more than the weight. If we do that, to be fair, most of this we can just push off. Obviously we have to build a road here, so we're going to need to make sure it's fully off. You watching PCLK? Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it's a good friend of the channel. Right, we've got a couple of these to grab. think he's playing. Was he Dying Light? Wasn't that? I think he's doing at the minute. Okay, we need to make sure the grabber can actually do the grabbing. I think for the rocks this will be really good. Obviously, it is struggling with some bits and pieces. Let's fold crane properly there. I'm going to try and just push these to the side. It's not really in the way massively now. Blue thing maybe. But using the grabber to grab them isn't really as needed, I don't think. That might be a problem. We're going to need to grab that though, aren't we? Right. Try and grab it on the edge, I think. You got it? It has got it. Perfect. Ah, that's what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to drop down there. That's annoying. But how's your day going so far? Obviously, you're in your, is it early afternoon for you? Obviously, still in the morning for me. Right, is that out of the way enough so we build this road and not in the way? That's the question. I think it is. Don't roll back. I'm just trying to move that out of the way enough that we could, it's not going to affect anything. I think that's the only hard thing with this, is trying to work out exactly where the flaws are sometimes. There you go, it's not going to bother us anymore, is it? I think that needs to be moved a little bit. You know how wide the roads can end up going, that's the thing. Chuck it over this side, it's out of the way then. And then we're going to go round and clear the rocks from the tunnel entrance as well. And then we will go and do the road. I know we've just finished the road. This is what I wanted to do, the clearing first, because obviously we just finished doing a road. But to do one immediately afterwards is a bit boring, to be fair. Trying to change the jobs we're doing, and also using different vehicles. I think it does keep things different and fresh. But yeah, it's not too bad speed-wise actually. This is quicker than I thought it would be compared to some of the others. We've got the tank crane, which is pretty good. Can't carry as much of this, but it's quite nippy as well. Obviously, we were told at the start of this map that tracked vehicles would do better here, and so far that has been the case. Other vehicles can manage, but it's not as easy for them. Change the camera back to the right one. Especially when navigating bits like this, hence why we need a road here. Because of how much damage the earthquake has done, flooding wise. It's amazing how much damage one earthquake or several, I don't know actually how many they've had here, but how much damage they can do, to be fair. But yeah, the whole point of this will be to do a convoy to the radio tower with the materials to fix the radio tower fully and get it back operational. That's the whole point of this mission, hence why we did the first road to open up the connection to the radio tower via the, I just want to call it a land bridge, but the road going over the ditch essentially that opened up because of the earthquake. And then we've moved on from that to clear the tunnel and build another road. Bear with me a second, I'll someone at the door. Sorry about that. Obviously, when someone comes to the door, I can't not answer the door, to be fair. Especially if it's like my other half, she'll go mad. But yeah, we've got some, obviously because of the injuries I've got, I can't do the garden like I used to. And we've got some trees in the front garden and we need cutting down. It's something that needs to be done for a while. I physically can't do it now. And every time there's anyone else locally doing any tree work, they always come past and say, we can do it for you. But I know, but I just need to get around to actually organising it and finding a quote that's decent. There we go, so that's all it was. Right, we've got to drive this round down here. We're going to go to the tunnel here, clear all the rocks, hence I'm using the grabber, and then open that up. Then we'll do the road. We've got about 40 minutes left today, so we'll try and get as much as we can. I think we'll probably get the road done, maybe the convoy as well. We would do a different mission, but this mission is still part of this first mission we started with the radio tower after we cleared it. So we've completed one side mission so far today, and we've done this mission which has had several parts to it. Right, we better clear these, because any vehicle doing a convoy this way will bump into these and get stuck. So we better clear these out of the way first and foremost, I think. And we'll get a good test to see how well the grabber does. I think it'll be good on the rocks. I think really this is what it's for, isn't it? Is picking up rocks and things like that. So this is what its bread and butter is, essentially. Small rocks are a pain. Let's see how it does with them. I think if anything, it's just judging where the actual grabber is, especially on the smaller rocks. All they need to be is off the road. It doesn't matter where. We're not going to re-tarmac over the road. There's no need to. So all we got to do with the rocks is make sure they're off the road. That's quite handy. So actually, we can make the grabber claws grab when it's too low, and then they will start closing as you go up. So that's actually not a bad way of doing it, to be fair, especially on the smaller stuff like this. It's tricky to see where you are. If we go down, go to close, right, missed it there. Press close there, and as we come up, they'll still close, so it'll grab the rock on the way up, which is quite handy. Right, we've got, I think, one small one left. I might have grabbed it there actually, to be fair. I've done it too early. Yeah, we have. So again, down, slowly come up, and then he grabs on the way up. This is why we wanted to try to grab her out, to be fair. That's done. Obviously, we can pick the rocks up with other cranes as well. They do the same thing. But I think this is more designed for that kind of thing, isn't it? That's the site. That's the other thing to it. This is actually designed to do that. I didn't know this road would be full of rocks, to be fair. But yeah, we could have used a mule crane or anything like that. It will still attach to rocks. I like the fact it picks them as you go past. Might be a little bit close to the tracks there. There we go. I always kind of stayed away from grabbers because I always felt they weren't very useful, but actually using this one has actually proven they are. I think on some stuff like, you know, deliveries and stuff, there's no point. You need this type of crane for that. But actually rocks and stuff, we have seen some really big ones in different places that have been problematic. Whereas this actually does what it says on the tin, it grabs them and then moves them. And it can lift a decent amount, that's the thing. It's not like you can't handle a lot of this stuff. I'm going to move that again. I wasn't high enough when I come off it. There we go. It's pretty happy with the grab. Like I say, it's the first time I've really utilised one, other than for doing the trees. The tree forwarders have grabber cranes, and they're very temperamental. I find they're very sensitive to movement, just put it that way. So we have struggled a little bit with them until the one we did find that was really good. That's the one we use now. But other than that, we haven't really used grabbers, just because an actual crane of a line is just easier to use. That's the thing. It's quicker and easier. But actually on rocks, this does the job. It's nice to use something different. It's not as slow as I thought it'd be either. For the size of it and how heavy it is, I thought it'd be a lot slower. There's a lot more rocks though on this road than I first thought. I did not think there was this many here. I thought we'd get up the top and clear it really quickly, but actually there's loads on the way. Don't want to be too close, otherwise it won't obviously grab. I haven't changed the camera, to be fair, so I'm not seeing it as easily. There we go. Fell out anyway, but it did the job. Yeah, we're still on driving camera, that's why it wasn't perfect there. Right, some more rocks here. These aren't actually the ones we need to clear for the mission itself, but they're on the way to that, so we should really clear them out of the way anyway. All this needs to be done for the convoy to actually do its thing, because otherwise it's not getting past. So it's quite nice to use something different. Was it? No, just missed it. So the only thing I would say with this is you can't really rush it when you're picking stuff up. Because if you do rush it, it doesn't work the same. It doesn't like being rushed, shall we say. I've only picked 2 up at once here. Or none. Trying to be clever and picking 2 up. I've got 1. I think I'm stretching it too far forward, hence why it's dropping sometimes. It's the angle in which you're moving it. Look at that, it folds over there. That's the angle I'm making it. It's making it stretch too far, I think. Doesn't like it. I don't have a very good history of cranes. Snow run, I'm pretty bad with cranes in that. I think we have improved, but yeah, not brilliantly. Right. Crane back. Off we go up the hill. At least we're checking the route. Normally we have to second guess the route and we judge it via the map when we lay the route out for convoys. And 9 times out of 10 there's something the map doesn't show properly, so you don't know it's an issue until the convoy gets stuck, and then once you know it's an issue you're like, okay, I'll deal with that. Okay. Further around, it's all a bit clearer now. This is the start of the search area for this object as well. I've got a feeling in one of these gaps find all archaeological sites, so there'll be something we're looking for in them areas. You're better off using a scout because you can scan. So we'll bring a scout over at some point, but before that we'll just continue what we're doing. There's 5 different sites to go to find these things. You don't actually have to do anything. I think you've just got to find the object normally. Although this is archaeological sites, maybe you need to find a hole. A dig site maybe, I don't know. It's going to be something like that though. You generally don't need to move them. Right, these are what we need to clear though. This is what we brought this up here for. so the convoy can come out of there. So we think we'll try and load them on this right hand side to start with until we run out of space. The big rocks are going to be interesting to see if we can manage it. It can lift a fair weight of good they told us on board it. Interesting to see really how that weight does work. I think I'm stretching it far too far though. I think we're going to keep it more here kind of thing. So we can always move ourselves to where we need to go. But I think I'm stretching it a little bit too much. Will that pick up? Not quite. Okay. So I did wonder if that would be too heavy for it, but actually handles it pretty well. I can't remember exactly what the top weight of this is. Without going back in the shop, but it's a decent amount. But this is a heavy crane after all. Yeah, I'm trying not to overextend it. I think that's where I'm going wrong a little bit, is the overextending it. Most of these we just need to move to the side. We don't really need to take them too far. Those don't roll back on. Right, this big one's going to be interesting. How are we going to go with this? Okay. Try a different kind of setup. Struggling to grip it, to be fair. I'm not surprised. It is extremely big, isn't it, to try and pick up. It's going to drop it, I think. Yeah. Just need to get the right angle, I think. Okay, we've got it. It may stiff out. Let's go over the side so it doesn't mess anything up. I was going to say, it needs to drop it. It wouldn't let go. There you go. It's out of the way, though. I think it definitely works better now we're not overextending it. We seem to like that better, as long as we're not extending too far. And a small one. Okay, we've got a couple of big ones here. I think our best bet with this one is moving to the left. Probably can just knock them out of the way in some degrees as well. But yeah, pretty happy with how this is working, to be fair. As I say, we can pick these rocks up with other cranes, but sometimes, especially these big ones, it can be a bit of a struggle. And this is really what it's designed for compared to, say, the mule crane or the Voron. They're not designed to pick these up, their cranes. They're more for materials and things. You know, in real life, would you really use one of those to move rocks? Probably not, because you won't be able to anchor to it. Whereas this is designed to pick stuff up like this. And these big ones, I think it's just a case of getting the right kind of angle to get your hooks in. So they stay when you go up. Staying. We did it. It's out of the area, that's enough for us. But like I say, it's nice to use something different as well, which is what we kind of try and do as much as we can, is use different vehicles. And it's doing what it says on the tin. It's actually doing a good job of it. We could just use the same old vehicles all the time. Probably be quicker, to be fair, because we won't be trying to learn how new things work and the best way to utilise them. I always prefer to use something different. We do the same in the SnowRunner series. We're using the same vehicle every time, just get boring. Well, it's always good to try something new. And I may not be the best at controlling a crane arm like this, but I think we've done okay. Don't know if that would count as out of the area, to be fair. Thought it might roll back in, so I was trying not to let happen. Stayed. Thank you. It stayed. And a little left. Close to these. I don't want to block off the path to the right, to the left too much, because obviously we know we've got to search for something here. There's a chance we need to drive down there at some point, so we don't want to block it. So we move these really to the right. The small ones are fine. Bear with me again. I've got someone else at the door now. Sorry about that, that's twice now. And none of them have been the postman either. Which makes it worse. It wouldn't be too bad if it was the postman. Oh, right. So this one and one more to clear, and then this is done. And then we need to go and build our road. Both time, 25 minutes, we might get it done today. May get the road done. All that matters, we are live with RoadCraft on Wednesday and Friday, so plenty of time to get this done. Whether we'll finish the final base game map this week, I don't know. The one thing I would say about Kernel, which is the map we're on, is the final base game map. We said this earlier, it's definitely not the easiest map. I think they have left the hardest till last, which is good in a lot of ways. But obviously, it just means we won't get done very quickly. Well, I really enjoyed using that crane, that was quite handy. To be fair, can we see? I'm just going to quickly change crane camera. Obviously, there's an object to find here, an archaeological site we've got to find. Let's change camera. I just want to see if we can see it. I don't think we'll be able to from here. I think we'll need a scout vehicle, to be fair, because I think it's going to be somewhere down there, isn't it? Yeah, I can't see anything specifically. Right, that can stay there for the minute. So, we are back to building the road again, as we continue this. Plan a route for concrete supply. When did that mission come up? That's going from the eastern tunnel to warehouse. Oh, okay, I remember that. It's alright, we need to get Drystone Base up and running first, really. We're mainly focusing on the village for the time being, just because it's where we were at the time we started this. There's an archaeological site there to find as well, and antenna we need to do. But yeah, so we are focusing on the village first and foremost. So we've got a heavy dump here, so we need to build a road along here. Let's actually get onto the mission, it would just help. So we want to build this road here. What we're going to do is we're going to connect that to our road we already built from our garage. So we'll bring it out round here, and then once we're to this point, we'll set the AI to do this bit, just because it's so we can then grade the rest of it while that's being done. We've already driven that way, we've cleared the way of everything else, and then after that there'll be a convoy to do, which will be really easy just to set up and go, as we've cleared everything out the way, really, haven't we? So now the quarry's up and running here. So sand won't be an issue. We won't have to do the back and forwards with the sand as we had to do for the other bit towards the radio tower. So all we're going to do is join this bit of road on And this makes more sense because this means we're going to be able to navigate through the village easier, but also the convoy is going to come through the village and it will get stuck at all these different places if we don't do this. That's the thing. We know we've done enough convoys throughout the game now to know 9 times out of 10 they get stuck on any little bit of road that's got a bit of mud or water on it. So the best you can do is just make sure you've got a road laid out. It just makes life so much easier and saves you a massive amount of time later on. I'm going to keep going back and redoing things. So while we've got the ability to do so, we'll do this now. Okay. And as I say, this is easier now than it was earlier because we've actually already got the quarry up and running. So sand isn't an issue. We don't need to keep going back and forth like we did earlier. I did wonder if you could cancel a quarry. No, once it's active, it's active. I did wonder that. Because obviously we had to spend tokens to get that quarry active. So I did wonder whether we could get the tokens back by turning it off, essentially, but you can't. Now, I'm not the best at laying out sand. I do find it really tricky to get the right amount, hence why I like the AI to do it on the roads it wants us to do mission-wise. I just think I overdo it sometimes, put too little or too much. Obviously some of the corners we're going to need to make wider to allow for turns. But we have found the grader does spread it out quite a decent amount. That's the other side of it. It does actually spread it out really well. Try and do it down the corner. I was too busy focusing on what was coming out the back end to look where it was turning. There you go. Can't go too fast either. There we go. Next load. Let's refill. So much easier when the quarry's open and you're right underneath where the quarry zone is. Makes life so much easier. Right, let's get some more down. As I say, this will spread out fairly well. So if it looks a bit lopsided in places, it does spread really well. Especially with the new grader, especially as well. If anything, we'll just have a few hills in places. But I thought in the last stream we did the biggest road we've ever done. I think we might come close to being equal or beating it the way it's going on this map. There's so many roads to build just so you can actually get round places. Whereas previous maps, we've not really done too many extra roads. Most of the time we can normally navigate pretty well. Convoys have done a few extras for them, but nothing to the extent we're having to do here. And this is mainly for convoy benefit more than our own. It is the convoys that do struggle on these areas. You know, I've praised the AI in this quite a bit, but it's not the AI that fails normally. It's the vehicle they're using, so the Wayfarer being the worst one for any kind of route, to be fair. Anything that isn't a tarmac route, the Wayfarer struggles massively. Anything that's wet or muddy, it just doesn't like it. Reminds me of the GMC from SnowRunner right early game, before you then get new tyres on it. It's like that. The Wayfarer is just horrendous. So a lot of the roads you have to build are for the Wayfarer really to actually make it be able to get anywhere, as it can carry the most stuff, and most convoys do use it. But yeah, I think extra roads, we've done a few over different maps, just when it's needed. But yeah, for this one I think we've gone above and beyond what we've done previously. But as I say, for a final map, it makes sense, doesn't it? So it's not simple. I think it would be a letdown if it was. That's the thing. Right, we need to go all the way to the edge of where the new road starts. Otherwise we'll have a gap. And we'll start grading while the rest of this sand is done, once we're in the right position. Come on. I thought I'd already lifted our max, but I hadn't. But yeah, why don't we go to the edge, and then we'll set the AI up to actually do the road through there. It shouldn't have any issues, and we should just be able to follow behind with the grader quite happily. I'll say that now, this is where something goes wrong, but it should be fine. But we just need to make sure we get to the edge first. I don't know if I need to grade it first, to be fair. Shouldn't do. I think as long as it's in a position where it's not going to get stuck, I think it'll be okay. Obviously, if it struggles to go forward, it could be a problem. Okay, we'll do, because it should just be able to, it should be straight into doing the road from here. There should be no manoeuvring, is my thinking. Let's fill this up. Press one button, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. I want to make sure it's full. Still got a low gear. I was trying to take low gear off, to be fair. Okay, obviously the quarry stretches across here, so that won't be an issue. So yeah, there's no issue with sand, which is fine. This one here, pick this road. Press on the vehicle to start. Select truck. Select route. There we go, it's doing it. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck on the route we've already done. We need to jump in our grader, and we'll start grading this all the way around. But that'll save us a bit of time because it's doing the sand for us. We can only do that on roads the game wants you to make. Anything on top of what the game wants, it's our decision to make them. The vehicle got stuck. How is it stuck already? I don't understand how it got stuck. Let's drive forward. Okay, we need to obviously fix this. The vehicle got stuck. Cancel road. Oh, it's restarted it. Select truck. Select route. I don't understand how he got stuck there, to be fair. There should be no reason that gets stuck just there. I'm going to spectate for a second, just because obviously we've already had it go wrong once. So I just want to make sure it gets going. I don't quite know where it got stuck though. Keep going. Keep going. Seriously, why is it getting stuck? I think it's figured it out. As I say, I praised the AI, so I was hoping it wouldn't get stuck. It's doing its thing. Right, we can jump back in our grader then. Carry on what we were doing. And we should be done before we catch it up, to be fair. Okay. Obviously on corners and things in the join, I just want to quickly do a bit more on this join here, because there is a bit of an up here because of how we kind of joined it. I want to see if I can just get rid of a bit of that. Really, as it's higher than I would like. I don't think I'm going to do too much with it though. I might. That's better than it was actually, to be fair. Widened it a little bit just to get rid of some of the excess, really. Obviously the corner here, we can make that a little bit wider as well. We can, there we go. Yeah, I do like this grade. I think the first grade you started was rubbish compared to this, but this is quite, I think this is unlocked in one of the final levels, some 18, 19 or 20. Something it's quite a late game vehicle to use, but it is definitely the best grader going. It just does brilliantly compared to the other one, which is very temperamental. Would tip if you try and drive it too far because we've got the buckets raised when it's marching. This one, on the other hand, just does it effortlessly, and it's not massively slow either. But I like the way it actually moves the sand around as well. I think it does a really good job of it. It's a shame we didn't have it earlier, but again, it's designed to be a late game vehicle, isn't it? Designed for the tougher maps, essentially. But yeah. Roads would have been a bit easier if we'd had this early on. The up and downs don't matter if there's hilly in places. Not the end of the world. It's obviously it's not as smooth as it probably could be, but just where there's more sand than it should be. Which does happen on occasion. This is why I don't think I'm the best at putting sand down, to be fair. I'll widen this a little bit, as it is the corner bit. Big lump here. It's obviously my doing. Can get rid of some of this just by levelling it to the sides. I think we'll get rid of the lumps as long as you take it to the sides, not forwards. Because obviously it's got nowhere to go forwards other than onto the next big pile you've got. We're not necessarily going to put tarmac or asphalt, as it says, on the wider bits. We'll probably still do the width of the asphalt layer itself. But I'm just making sure it's not as hilly as it possibly would be if we kept it as is. But yeah, we've made it wide, we won't necessarily use that width. It's got a bit of the edge here. And then follow the road that the AI's done as well. And the AI's actually finished the sanding. We didn't quite catch it up, to be fair, like I thought it would. Yeah, it's quite wide there. Could use it as a passing place, that's the other thing. Even without the asphalt on it, it can still be used. Sand does give it a decent amount of grip. The AI won't use it, unless we tell them to, but we can if we wanted. Or we can asphalt it and make it really wide. So we can pass oncoming vehicles, because they won't stop for us. They will just smash into us if they get a chance, while beeping the horn furiously at the same time, which is always hilarious. Okay, now on to the just about to start the actual main bit of road. Sorry, there's sand there. I thought we may have missed a bit of sand there, but no, it's fine. So this is the main bit of road. The reason this road is needed is for this bit. There's always a bit of a jump up, I notice, when the AI lays these down. I know I'm bad for little ups and downs, the amount of sand used, but the ends, both ends will be ups and downs. Every time it seems to do it. This spreads it so nicely. How wide it spreads as well. Our previous one, it was a lot greater, was smaller as well, in terms of the bucket width, so you didn't spread as far. Sometimes we had to do 2 or 3 runs, but this spreads it really nicely. So it's a shame we had it quite so late game, but I think that's how it's meant to be, isn't it? That's the thing. Okay, we've got 10 minutes left of today's stream. Hopefully we get this road finished. We just need to lay the asphalt next, and then roll it, and then job done. Whether we'll get the convoy done today, I don't know. It'd be nice to be fair, but I don't know if we will. Just time-wise, we are running out. For those that haven't checked out the schedule though, check out the video that was posted yesterday at 1 PM GMT. That's the scheduled video. A little talk from me as well at the start, And then check out the community page for their live stream times as well, so you don't miss a live stream this week. Change mode, marching. I think we're all good. I don't think there's anything we need to back over there. So part out of the way, I want to swap to the heavy dumper. I just need to move it off the road essentially. Because as soon as we're done with the asphalt laying and rolling, we want to set the convoy up. Okay, it wasn't moving back because I was keeping the handbrake on. I always forget to take handbrake off. So, asphalt layer next. Where did we leave you? Roller's there. That's dumper. Did we do it all the way over here? Oh wow, okay, we did. Okay, well he gets to use the road it laid earlier. Oh, it's because we ended up there, didn't we? That's why. I know why now. It's not the fastest, admittedly, but we need to get to where the garage is and then we can start laying asphalt again. Sometimes the roads we lay out aren't the prettiest, they're not the straightest, but they tend to do the job where possible. We still haven't had to break one yet. I know the graders can do asphalt destruction. Only works on roads you've laid yourself. We haven't had a reason to do it yet. I'm waiting for the time we need to lay like electricity cable or something underneath a road we've already put down, because that's when you'd need to do it and then fix the road afterwards, kind of thing. But I kind of was expecting it to happen on Sojourn, but we never really needed to. We was managed to find another way of putting the cable somewhere. Here, I don't know. I don't know if we will need to. But yeah, we just haven't had to use it once, which is a little bit frustrating. You kind of want to use everything once, but it's just one mode of the grader we've just never had to use. Well, we are rapidly running out of time though for today. I think we'll get the asphalt done, may not even get the rolling done today, but then we'll continue this on Wednesday. Anyway, hopefully get more done. Mission wise, we've completed today one side mission, and then we've started a mission towards the radio tower, and that involved other bits and pieces now been added in, and we've had to go and get something for the archaeology lot. So I think we've done two side missions, because we delivered the logs, got the archaeology thing done because we needed the tokens to open the quarry to be able to build the roads. So yeah, two side missions, and this mission that keeps adding things to it as we go along. So I wouldn't say it made a massive amount of progress. I think our percentage won't change too much, but our infrastructure routes would have gone up, and so will side mission completion. But this is what it takes sometimes just to get some things done, and all the missions aren't always necessarily telling you everything at once. So as this one was just originally make a clearer of the road that leads to the radio tower, then it changed to build a road to the radio tower, and now it's changed to this, clear an area and build another road, and it's still part of the same mission. So this does happen where missions get extended. Right, this is the join to our road. Kind of one. Obviously, we've tried to make it as wide as possible back here, and I think we need to kind of make sure we're still doing that for any turn it needs to make. Just want to make sure that any kind of turn we can facilitate without it having an issue. I suppose maybe some more sand on the inside would have been okay, but I think that it will work the way we want it to. Like I say, the biggest issue with these routes and convoys is them getting in your way, because they won't move. They will just slam into you, beeping the horn furiously at you. And that's probably the worst thing about these, to be fair. Right, let's go back and do this bit of quarter. Here. Obviously when we roll it will leave an edge anyway, but I'm just trying to make sure that, you know, if our road isn't perfect, or the vehicle when the AI is driving doesn't turn or doesn't have a very good turning circle, it's not going to have too much of an issue still making it around the corner. So we're trying to make the corners a little bit wider. Because it can be the vehicle's turning circle is just poor. And because of that, we need a wider corner. It's a rock added with more to the left. Just noticed it there on the edge actually. Just straighten up. Another corner here. Again, we just want to be as wide as we can. Thing is, some of the vehicles just don't turn very well, so we need to make sure, because there's nothing worse than a vehicle taking the corner wrong, especially when you're not driving it, because then it will get into all sorts of trouble, fail, have to redo this route and everything. This kind of negates that as much as we can. Then we're going to be perfect, but at least it gives it a good shot of taking the corner. Because when you plan your route, it doesn't necessarily follow it directly. It all depends on how it can turn and things. Your route may make this turn quite tight, but actually when the AI does the route, the vehicle itself may not be capable of making that turn the way you set it up. So instead the AI will just do it the best it can and try to get back onto level when it can. Like these bins are kind of in our way a little bit here. Right, so stop laying. I've just broke a bin. I've not done that before. The bin just disintegrated as we got it caught. There we go. Right, we are out of time in fact. What we'll do, we'll finish off today by getting this asphalt laid. And then once that's done, that's actually in our way. That's where we'll leave it until Wednesday when we come and do the rolling and everything else. Get the rest of this asphalt done at least. I don't like leaving a job half done to be fair, so at least the stage will then be done. And we'll have a look at percentages and stuff before we finish. As I say, it's not going to be an amazing difference in percentage based because of what we've actually managed to get done today. There's been a lot more prep involved with the road building and things. It's not been a simple case of just complete the mission for what it says. And we've extended the roads to make our life easier and also try and guarantee the convoy makes it without having to keep going back and forth to it to fix problems. That's always the big thing I think, is just making sure we don't have to keep going back and forth. We've already had one glitch on this map where previously, I think it was Friday we noticed it, the convoy we did that was delivering logs to the warehouse for us and gave us the 30 logs in total. Every time a vehicle completed its run, I think we got 2 logs. But once it finished its run, the next vehicle never got sent out. We had to keep restarting it every time for every vehicle, and it's one vehicle at a time. So that was annoying. We had to do it 15 times, I think, in total, based on how many it gave us. So, because of that, when you're doing, you keep a little bit of an eye on these. There's nothing worse than setting up these convoys and they then fail and you've got to go back and just fix the route over and over again because you didn't do it properly the first time. So it's better just to do it once and once only and leave the thing to itself to do what it needs to do. And at least then we can be doing other things while it does what it needs to do. That's always the thing, is trying to make sure we're busy whilst the AI is doing something else. I can set it up to drive this automatically to be fair, but I don't mind letting it do the sand, but other than that, I want to make sure we do everything ourselves. And we have done all the way through so far. The sanding is the only thing we've got the area to do. And that's only to save a bit of time to be fair. But we'll get this done, the asphalt laid, and then we are out of time. We'll finish off this road on Wednesday, and we'll roll it and get the convoy set up, and go from there. As I say, it doesn't feel like we've achieved a massive amount, but that's because we've had to build loads of roads, or actually fix stuff, like the roads. the land bridge we had to make with the sand, for the road to go over as well. Things like that. They all take time, that's the thing. I think that's why it's important to do everything you can properly the first time round, because that way then you're guaranteed, hopefully, to make it work. It's more time consuming to keep going back, although I am having to go back because I'm pretty sure I wasn't that straight on some of those bits. I feel like I may need to go back and just sort them out. It's because the grader is quite wide, the one we're using, so you can go wider. Come on. Back on the asphalt. There we go. Put the corner too tight, hence why we came off the asphalt there. Came off the sand, sorry. Right, I'm going to go back a little bit onto some bits. I feel like we didn't do some of it that well, so I want to quickly go back before we finish and just finish off the laying of the asphalt, and then Wednesday morning we'll start rolling this, getting the road finished, and then I guarantee it will say a convoy from that tunnel. Hence why this is all being done. I don't know if we can join that better. Can that join better? No, I suppose if we put a bit more sand down there. That's okay. There's differentiates between the road that was there and the road that's now there. You can see where he was a bit all over the place here. More to one side than the other at times. That's why I just want to quickly go back and make sure we just filled a bit of this in. This bit here's a little bit dodgy, isn't it? Don't know how we managed that. Well, the AI laid the sand, to be fair, but we've graded it out. And somehow there, we've made that really, really, really tight. I don't think it'd be too much of an issue though, to be fair, but I've done that before, haven't we? It's a weird one. And again, here it's not the best in terms of width. It doesn't have to necessarily be that wide, but still, I don't like it being messy. The odd pothole's fine, because that's normal, but I think that's it. That was the only bits I kind of knew as we was doing them. I must go back. Are we back on? Or have I screwed it up? Can't get back on this on there, I don't think, can I? Yeah, we can. Yeah, which I think was just them little bits that I knew I didn't do brilliantly. Just want to make sure they were done properly. As I say, we are out of time for today, annoyingly. We'll have a quick look at percentage and stuff before we finish. I think rolling this will take more than one roll. I think we'll have to come back on ourselves. The roller's not as wide as the asphalt layer, that's the thing. Okay. We are out of time, as I say, so we've got this road to finish. Today we've been quite busy though. We have managed to get a few things done. We built this road over here, including a land bridge across the water as well, and cleared the area. We then cleared the area over to tunnel over here, cleared that area and the route along the way. We've got this road done, bar rolling as well, and then we also went and got the archaeology item from over here, the vehicle, and got it all the way back to the archaeologist camp, which took a bit of doing, to be fair. And we delivered the 15 logs right at the start of the day as well. You can see there's still more roads to do. There's another road here to join at some point, which will then join the Hot Springs geothermal station to the steel pipes facility. That will create a roadway that way. We're going to need to build a lot more roads. We're nowhere near done road wise. It feels like there's going to be lots of them coming up as well. We're just got to keep plodding along, looking at our routes, making sure it's all good, and going from there. We've currently got 4 main missions on the go. We're currently doing the bottom one. flood wall needs doing as well, sooner rather than later. Concrete supply route, archaeology sites, additional antenna, all waiting for us as well on the side routes. But we're out of time, as I say, for today. We've actually gone over a little bit. So if you haven't seen the schedule, we are live again with RoadCraft on Wednesday morning, as we get another 3.5 hours to continue on the final map, Kernel. We are live again tomorrow morning, Assassin's Creed Shadows, DLC, Claws of Awaji. The main story for that is done, but we've got other bits that we want to do within the DLC itself, and then we're going to start platinum hunting the main game as well. It does mean using a guide for legendary animals, unless I change my mind, because I don't do guides. It bugs me to follow a guide, but I don't think we're going to find the animals naturally, so I don't have a choice. But it is annoying. We're 28% done on Kernel. I don't know what it was this morning. I think it was like 14, 15. 3 of 17 infrastructure requests, 10 of 33 main missions, 2 of 9 side objectives. The map is near enough fully open now compared to what it was first thing this morning. But as I say, that is us for today. A massive thank you guys for the likes, the views, comments, and the conversation. We're back tomorrow morning with Assassin's Creed Shadows DLC Claws of Awaji. Wednesday morning for more RoadCraft. But until then, enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see you in a live stream very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.